Let's not fuck around anymore.
If you just continue to press the same button like X, X, S, and Y, 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 and X, X, and Y, Y, Y again, you'll be sucked. You'll be sucked.
What's up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is going to be The Real, episode 143 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
What episode again?
143.
What episode again?
143.
What episode again?
What episode again?
143.
Ah, reverse psychology.
The Mouthful Podcast. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
It is Friday.
It is Friday. Fry-yay, guys.
Yes.
Fry-yay.
I hate that.
I do too. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's not then. What are we using it?
I don't know. What else do we say? TGIF. That's another
TGIF.
one,
Yes, that's original.
Yeah, but that's
I
played
think
out.
we've
That's
had
80s.
Oh, that's 80s.
Yeah, that's 80s. That was TGIF was channel 7 when I was in New York. So it was ABC. ABC's TGIF had Perfect Strangers and all
Perfect
those,
Strangers.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
god,
shit? Yeah.
I remember that.
Shit, man, TGIF, dude.
Wait, Perfect Stranger was the one with the.
With Balki Bartokomous.
That's the one. Yes. Yeah.
I don't even know how I still remember that.
What the hell is that actor doing now?
I don't know, but I remember seeing him in Beverly Hills Cop, the show, the movie.
The movie.
He was in part 2 and then came back in part 3 and like his weird ass whatever. And then
Wait, there's a Beverly Hills Cop 3?
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah. There was one. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's no bueno.
No bueno.
No, it's no bueno.
No.
2
It
is
is the
where-
Police Academy 5.
It is hey, Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach. It's actually not that bad.
No, wait a minute. Which one was Mission to Moscow?
That's like 7, dude.
Oh shit, no. But I think 4 was the last good of them.
That's what the last one was, Steve Gutenberg.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Well, obviously. Obviously.
True that.
That one
yes.
had Tony Hawk.
Did it have Tony Hawk?
Yes.
I don't remember this.
Well, he was one of the skaters.
I think you mentioned
There's a
it to me.
scene. There's a scene
Yeah.
where there's some people skating.
Yes.
I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, Tony Hawk, Steve Caballero.
I remember stupid shit. No, City Under Siege was 6. The third one was
Oh, their one was 4 was Citizens on Patrol.
Back in Training?
Back in Training might have been
I don't remember. Yeah.
the second one. I know that
I know the second one's my favorite. Like
The
of all time.
second one
Yes, it's
is-
my favorite of all time. It's the one
Yes.
I've watched the most.
yeah.
And then I loved part 5 because of its finale when they were chasing each other on the part 5 is Assignment Miami Beach, and that's the one they were chasing each other on these fucking ski-doos or sea-doos or whatever they call.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why I remember this shit. Too much stuff in my mind,
I
and
don't
it's
know.
constantly flowing out. And I apologize for that.
I got another movie that I want to bring up. It's a classic.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite, and I am considering doing a viewing of it,
Rewatch? Yeah.
rewatch again.
Uh-huh.
And that movie is Christian Slater's classic, Gleaming the Cube.
Oh, Gleaming the Cube is great, dude. That movie's good. That movie's good shit.
That movie's good
Yeah,
shit.
that movie's good shit,
That
yeah.
movie was
That
great.
freaking end scene when he's
Just don't spoil it to me.
oh look, whatever. 80s. Sorry guys. 80s is full.
I've forgotten it completely. I just remember the metal skateboard is the only thing I remember.
Yes, with the bigger wheels. It's like, and the guy's like, "No, you don't need these, man. This just make you go faster." I'm like, "That's what I want."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Who would not want to go faster? What is wrong with this guy?" Anyway,
He was a professional skater. He knew what.
how are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I wasn't
Christian
Christian
skater.
Oh, wow. Of course, I was not Christian Slater doing the stunts. I was probably Tony Hawk for all we know.
Yeah, well, probably.
Yeah.
Because he used to do all the
Every stunt.
stunt that had to do with skateboarding back in the day.
It was all him.
Yeah, it was
They
always
would just
always credited to him.
Change his hair a little bit. We gotta
Yeah.
make him look like the star.
Yeah.
Here, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if he's
Point Break. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Point
go
Break.
ahead.
Oh, Point Break is good stuff. I don't know about the remake though.
No.
Yeah.
Forget the remake.
If you don't have what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Keanu Reeves.
No, not Keanu Reeves. What's wrong with you? The guy who died.
Oh shit. What are you talking about?
He's,
Which one are you talking about?
Point Break.
Point-
Man. The original Bodie. The blonde dude. The
Point
one.
Break is the one with the presidents, right?
Yes, they were wearing dead president masks.
Was Keanu not there?
He was there, but he's not the reason you watch the movie.
Of course he is.
No, you watch it for Bodhi, man.
You're getting me confused.
Bodhi is life.
Bodhi is life. That's my bumper sticker in the back of my car.
It will
next
now.
To the GG one.
That's right next to it.
Bodhi is
GG
life.
Bodhi is life.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was gonna read.
A special
What
tribute
is
podcast.
his name? Oh my God! I'm thinking Kurt Russell, but it's not Kurt Russell. Fucking hell.
We'll have to
look it up.
Yeah, after the
Some point,
break.
yeah, after the break. You will
we'll
know.
talk.
You probably people are yelling on it. What the fuck is wrong? You
Yeah,
don't know
people are
this
probably
guy.
yelling like, "What the
it's
fuck is a
bad.
Point Break?"
Oh God.
No, I'm
How
kidding.
young is our
I'm
audience?
kidding.
Maybe I shouldn't say fuck.
12 to 16, yeah.
I should probably rethink that. Oh man, guys, if this is your first time listening, thank you for hanging on.
Welcome. Welcome, kids. This is a safe
A
environment.
safe environment.
Yes.
We promise we do not talk like this all the time. That's not true. We do.
Totally.
If you please go to goodgame.tech, join the conversation there. That takes you right to our Facebook group, and we will let you in as we always say. Also, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is we go into, first off, what we've been up to, then move on into some news items, and finally finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic
Is Netflix
is Netflix too expensive?
Yeah.
Don't know. I guess we'll have to stick around to find out.
We'll talk about we'll talk about that. 'Cause
Spoilers.
It was interesting.
I don't think it is.
Spoilers. He's still finding out a way to become a devil's advocate.
Yes, exactly. I already
For
told
the reason
you.
it is.
Bill has paid me off, so I have
Yes,
to
that's
continue, that relationship there.
Yeah.
All right. So before we start, or rather, let's start. But before we get too deep into what you've been doing, sir, you have to mention something that you did. You did a little while ago, and you forgot to mention because you're a hater.
This is not. I am not
You're
hating
a
at
hater.
all. I don't even understand.
Wait a minute, hater.
I am Christian
This is-
hater.
you're a Christian hater when it comes to this particular film because you watched it 2 weeks ago.
No, I did not. No,
you
I am
refused
totally
to
not
bring
a
it
hater.
up last
I
week.
completely forgot. I was
Now
like,
you're saying the movie's forgettable.
no, I am totally not. He's putting mouth in my words.
Nice.
This is not something that I meant to skip. I honestly forgot, and it was because I watched it like a week before we went live on the podcast. So of course, I'm talking about the last animated movie for Spider-Man Into the
Spideyverse.
Spider-Verse. Thank you. That
Such a good movie.
it was a great movie. I meant to have I even had some thoughts on it that I meant to bring up that I meant to, like, obviously not spoiling territory or anything like that, but I wanted like contrast with you. But of course it's been a long time already.
Your papers
So
are lost. You have no notes.
my
and
papers
now
are
you
notes.
suddenly become a hater. Okay.
The only thing I remember is hating. No, I didn't. Hate is a strong word. I did not like Spider Pig. I am so sorry.
First off, it's Spider Ham.
It's Spider.
Okay? If you're going to insult the
It's
pork,
Spider Bacon.
yes, I'm gonna need you to do this. It's to use his name right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spider Ham is
Spider Ham.
he's such a small portion of the film.
It is. He definitely is.
It's
yes.
not in any way interrupted. Not
No.
he suddenly has his. Oh, what happened to Spider Ham?
Yeah, no.
it's not about him. It's just he
Not
just
even
happens
his
to be
intro
there.
was long.
Yeah,
Not even his
exactly.
intro was long. Yeah, and I get that.
And
Honestly,
they play around with it really well to say,
Yes.
this is ridiculous. I mean, how even Peter Parker, he's Peter B. Parker.
Yeah.
he goes, what is going on? So even he
this is
finds
kind
it
of ridiculous.
ridiculous.
No, I think to clarify, I didn't hate. I didn't hate the character. I didn't hate his appearance or anything like that.
Hater.
It's not a matter of hate. It looked a little like, I get why he was there because it was kind of like, the ridiculous aspect of this whole multiverse thing already, as if that was not ridiculous enough. That you have another version of Peter Parker and another version of everybody.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, not another Mike Morales.
Miles Morales.
Yeah, you didn't get
because he's unique.
Oh, there you go.
Hey,
Well, that's okay.
There can only be one.
Well, how about Zero Spider Pigs? but the thing with him was that it because of the way he obviously designed to look like a completely like loony cartoon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It it almost took me off the How can I say this? Because it's still animation, so it still doesn't matter.
You're saying it just
He was a blemish. He was not bad. He was not terrible.
He was a standout against the rest of.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm telling you, one of them was the anime robot girl. So even that, I was like, okay, you know, I'll take it. You're stretching it there.
That one was like, okay, so we're riding the line with the anime girl, and then the pick comes out, you go, okay, that's it. We're past the line.
No. At that point,
I can't buy this now.
Yeah. So then that is, and this is I give high praise to this movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. You're absolutely right. I think the soundtrack, even though it's not my thing, it still nailed it for the type of like environment that they wanted to put, that urban New York environment.
I was telling you that the movie itself made me miss living in New York, and when I left New York, didn't like living in New York. You know what I mean? So, but I watched the movie, and I'm just going, man, I remember hanging out and go in the streets, hanging out in the subway, and whatever. I remember all these things, and I remember I don't know, man. It was just the life. It looks and feels like the city. It looks and feels like I'm back there, you know. And I was telling you,
walking through the subway, listening to NWA.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, yeah. And and all
Gangsta on the top of the list.
Who?
Then you play your own shit.
No, it was Cypress Hill. That's what it was.
Oh, Cypress Hill. There you go.
So no, anyway, my point is to say that the music alone just like literally transports you to New York. It's like now you're in New York. Maybe if you've never been to New York, you're not going to put the two together. But man, if you lived in New York, you are there's no doubt you're watching something that's taking place there.
Even more than I would say the actual game in itself.
Absolutely.
I never felt like as much as I enjoyed, obviously, the Marvel Spider-Man game. Like that city never felt like, oh, this is New York. You know, I'm in New York. It just felt like, I don't know,
New York.
I'm in Gotham for all intended purposes. It could be like anything. It could be like any generic city.
Yeah.
Even though
I agree, man. It was such a great thing, and man, that freaking movie, dude. It's so good, bro.
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. You know, highlights. The friggin'
Spider-Ham? No.
No, not Spider-Man. Is it? I don't think it's spoilery, right? Because he showed that. Is it spoilery? I'm asking to mention the different Spider-Mans that they show.
No.
I'm gonna leave it out. There's a particular Spider-Man versions of Spider-Man that I really, really enjoy.
Oh my god. Is it Jake Johnson? Something Johnson. The one who voices them, dude. He's just so good, man.
Yeah.
In movies, he plays that schlub. You know what I mean? That guy who just doesn't care. He smokes weed, whatever. You know, that's the guy he plays in almost all his. So to know that he voiced him, it's just like, of course, you know, of course they got this.
Well, the one I'm talking about, he's voiced by Nicolas Cage.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I really enjoy. Yeah. That's the real.
He's in the trailer, so that's not really a spoiler.
All right. So yeah, it was.
Oh, absolutely.
Spider Noir.
Yeah.
Spider Noir. Yes, he was my favorite.
Yeah. It was really good.
He was really good. Anyway, yes. Don't look at it as, oh, this is an animated movie. It's probably not gonna be worth the money to spend.
I'm telling you, I think
go watch it, because if there's something I really enjoy, you know what it was, and this is weird to say in a way, because it's not film, you know, it's animation. But the cinematography that they use.
Yes, yeah. You can use
it. You can say it. Okay, I thought that was just strictly to
no. You can still use that animated films, because maybe even more in animated films, because the backgrounds in real life that are filmed, you'll have things purposely moving there, and you'll have it, certain angles and maybe a wide shot or something like that. But when you're doing animation, you're creating these shots.
Yeah.
So they're all, all you need is a good background and take the good shot, and boom, you got yourself your whatever in real life. In animation, everything's being made, and if it looks and feels and just has a good look to it. Dude, that's probably even more. Yeah.
And they nailed it. They nailed it with the artwork, which is this kind of like semi like comic book. What do you call those? Comic book cells.
Oh, the frames.
Frames / not oil painting, but it does have kind of like there's a special quality of it that makes that makes the whole movie look very stylish and very cool.
It is very stylish.
And on top of that, they're not afraid of using those things, those thought bubbles, for example,
Yes.
and things that will make you think of comic book.
Correct, and they've done very. I think this is probably one of the most comic book movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
And I think it's like perfect.
and also because even the story, the story is
Yes.
like, yeah, this is just mega comic book. This is not based on any it's reality
Yeah.
that you don't have to worry about suspending your disbelief. Just let it go,
Just-
let
yeah,
it go free.
Just accept it.
Yeah, just
Then,
accept
you
what
know,
it is.
And for the most part, even though the technology, whatever whatever the way it is, it
Yeah.
maybe doesn't exist. But you know what? It makes sense. And if you know, if it was live action, it probably looked bad.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah,
The most ridiculous version of Kimping I've ever seen.
I was okay with that. I was
It was,
okay.
yeah.
He was a little, maybe a little a touch much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's say.
But yeah,
if you
I'm
get.
just surprised he moved fast at all.
I know exactly,
Just like,
exactly.
how the hell
Yeah,
does a wall
it was a little extra wide screen.
like he couldn't
for
fit in this room right now.
Yeah,
Really,
no.
just to think about it, he's not
No.
even gonna fit in this room.
His whole body and neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a wall.
still
He's a wall
ridiculously limber.
with his head right in the middle somewhere. So weird, but I don't know, man. It worked. It worked for me.
Give me what's the Ninja Turtles enemy
Oh, Krang. Yeah, Krang. Yeah, exactly.
Think of that for some reason.
Yeah, big-
It's not that, but it just
Yeah.
for some reason I conjured that image.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Anyway, that was Spider-Man, top notch.
Awesome.
Solid. I think I ended up the movie giving a solid 8, and the tilt after having thought about it and I think it's still a solid 8. It's definitely
yeah,
must
yeah.
watch. Something you
Letting
want
it
to.
sink in. Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes you get excited, you come out of the movie you're like, man,
That's why, like I
fucking
said,
Phantom Menace, that's a 9 out of 10. And then sometimes passes, and then you realize like
that was definitely me. I'm not even. I was like, that was amazing.
it was kind of garbage
It was-
actually.
yeah, repeat watching. The same thing with the first. What was it? The first Transformers.
Oh, the
Like I
first
came out of the theater,
Transform-
it's like that was great. I always wanted to see it, and then I think about it, it's like, yeah, I don't know. And then you see it again, and you're like, God, this is just shit, isn't it? It's just horrible. What the fuck was I thinking? So yeah. So what else? So sir, now that you've got that out
All
of
right,
the
so
way,
now
what else have you been up to?
the present, coming to the present. All right, so I'm still trudging little by little on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. No surprise there. I intend to finish that game because there's something in me that wants to see the end of it. More to like, and I realize this is ridiculous. More to middle finger, Ubisoft, and be like, you see, I did it, and I did not need no
Doubler, yeah.
stupid coin doubler. Almost like that. But I guess the joke's on me because I am playing their game, which is I am engaging with the game, which is exactly what they want me to do.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
maybe the joke's on me. Although, dude, I gotta talk about the ridiculousness thing that was. So they released the latest patch, which we talked about it last week, where it was you could modify the enemy. You were not modifying. You're not modifying the difficulty level. More like the level of the enemies
Of
themselves.
sponginess, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
and some other stuff. Well, I didn't mess with that because at that point I have already played this game, the game so far the way it is, so I don't get to change that. But thing that annoyed me, bro, and I posted it, was going into the freaking menus for
the ads,
anything
everyone
and
saw
getting
that,
an ad every time for anything that I will do. I will get out of the menu, I will go back in, and it will not stop. I got a report as an update. They've evidently fixed it, or it was meant to just bother you for the
For that
first
day.
15 or 20 minutes on it.
So it's either that or it could have been because I believe the most recent DLC story pack dropped. So it may have been just to say, hey, this is out now, this is out now, this is out now. Maybe for the day or two that it was out now. Which, by the way, spoilers, is not well received.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, I think that may have been what it is. I mean,
think-
it
I
still
think that
sucks, but yeah.
The not well received part, I think has to do more with
Story.
Well, I heard that the reason for it was more the decision that they made on, let's say, if you play a gay character, they were forcing you into a heterosexual decision
Correct, yeah.
on it. Yeah,
The story. That's what I'm saying. The story. The story choice.
But I think, I thought you meant like the story was crap or something
No,
like
no,
that.
no,
I
no,
don't think that was it. It was just
It was basically
like that.
It was allowing you to be pretty much whatever you want throughout the game.
Yeah.
And do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Be with anybody you want. You want to be with them for a while. You want to never be. You want to be everybody on the island.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. And then you get to this whatever, and it just
funnels you
funnels you into this thing and feels very contradictory to a character.
Yeah, exactly. Which it makes you think like how do you miss that? And like I thought it was part of your whole game design was to, your decisions matter if you want to play, or role play your character whichever way you wanted to play it. Mike Cassandra's a slut.
As are most evidently is what I heard.
No. Because it's not like she doesn't sleep with everybody. She only slept with this one dude, but the one dude is like a complete like freaky. He's like a fucking like the way there was one scene where I met him, and he is in a room in underwear with two ladies and a donkey.
And then
and it was like, of course, it's Greece.
Let's make this happen.
It was like, okay. and I don't remember what the mission was, but one of the options was like, okay, let's get it on. And I was like, sure, okay,
You suddenly get a bling trophy. Trophy, sleeping with donkey. Donkey. Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be terrible.
It would be great, so I can see your trophy list and go, damn, bro. What the fuck, bro? I remember, I'm sorry, sidebar. I remember trying to do the Nier Automata one, where if you angle like a certain way so you can look at
you can look,
and you get a trophy for that.
You get a trophy.
And I think it's something like, hey, what are you doing? And then as I'm doing, it's not chiming, and I'm going, what the fuck? All right, maybe I should just stop.
You have to do it for a while.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you have to do it for a while.
I never actually got it, so I'm like, okay.
And the funny thing is that and not to go into a tangent, but I just have to bring it up because I don't remember if I did. In Nier Automata, you don't get a trophy for anything else. You can play the game and not get a trophy. Do you remember you finished it? Do you have trophies for Nier Automata? I don't think you have any. Do you?
I think so.
Check again. That game does not. That game did not give you trophies
for nothing at all.
Well, I wanted to double check because it doesn't give you trophies.
You played it on PC, didn't you?
No, I played it on PlayStation. Yeah.
I have to ask because you're such a.
No, because the PC version came out later on and it was busted. Of course, because PCs don't matter.
Because PCs suck. This shit. I don't know what the hell. Yes, sir.
So you don't get trophies in this game until you talk to this vendor who has a menu that was clandestine. Like you could supposedly you couldn't buy anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
Up to you either.
I got 37% trophies, dude.
37%?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a part where you get the other trophies that you get, you buy them.
Oh hell no!
Yes,
oh, no,
you actually no. Granted. You buy only the ones that you deserve, like the ones that you have completed, whatever was the challenge, whatever was the trophy. You just didn't get the trophy when you completed whatever challenge it was.
All right, I had to do a quick search to see if I got that trophy.
The
skirt trophy.
The skirt trophy.
I just wasn't sure. Yeah.
So that was maybe you buy that one too, and I don't know. But it was funny because in my case, mega spoilers for Nier Automata. Skip 15 seconds if you don't want to hear it. At the end, when you finish off, you get the option of basically deleting your save. To help other players, you get to delete your save, and I did, and I never got to play the DLC by the way, because you don't get to the DLC from the menu, so I sacrificed that, and I also never cashed in the trophies that I deserve, that I rightfully deserve.
Evidently, I did, sir.
No, not all of them. I think if I remember correctly,
it's just
it's just a certain amount. It's still hilarious, still funny. So yes, Assassin's Creed, whatever. the other game that I've actually been playing, and this one I started semi-recent, or very recent actually, because it came out today. Ace Combat 7.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of that. I was like, I heard that it was coming out this week, and I'm just like, oh, am I gonna buy this? Like, I can't, I just can't. But no, I'm glad you got it. So you can. Why aren't you streaming this, bro?
I got it late at night. It was I was
Wait,
about
last night.
Last night, yeah.
Okay.
It was it got released at 12.
You're forgiven.
I went to bed at fucking 2 in the morning.
Then you had 2 hours. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Also, I didn't want you to know because I always wanted like make this a surprise.
Yeah, I appreciate the surprise, but fucking just stream, will you?
Fine. I don't have a camera. So Ace Combat 7. I've always liked the Ace Combat series.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't play them all. Like I forgot that this game, the original one, was on PlayStation, on PlayStation 1, and I think I even owned it because I saw a video of it and I was like, man, this music sounds familiar. I think I owned this game at some point. But the thing is, I am very, very happy that they went back into the fake realism or fake world.
Fake nations, yeah.
Fake nations, yeah. Although it makes understanding the story a little confusing because they're basically throwing names of continents and kingdoms and cities as if you should have known about them. Like,
I mean, that wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, like it will show you, for example, news pieces. Yeah, but you're still trying to, like, I'm still trying to understand which side am I actually playing. You know, because and most of these games stories go like this. They introduce characters, but the characters are not really the characters you're playing. You basically get a glimpse into their lives and the things that are happening, but it's almost like they are secondary, or more like you are the secondary character, you know, because the stories about them, whether it's an individual or a group of people, and their struggles and all that. And when it's time to play, you play, you know, whatever pilot designation you get. Like I think on this one I'm Trigger 1 or something like that. So if you ask me, you know, what the story is about, it's like I still don't know because I still don't know which empire or continent or government am I supposed to represent. That still doesn't detract away from the fact that the game is beautiful and it runs fantastic.
Yeah,
full 60 frames per second.
You're on PlayStation.
I'm playing on PlayStation Pro.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but my understanding is that it looks like that also. I would
assume so because
I think so,
the type of game that it is, because you're gonna go full 360 all around.
Yeah,
you kind of want to have a good frame rate for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, and this game is. Well, funny you mention, because the game does have VR.
Oh yeah, I know.
And you remember our argument has always been like my argument is like, man, VR is not gonna last. VR is dying, and you're like, no, you'll see.
It's happening, and it's a slow growth.
Everything I heard, even though sadly it only has three missions that are in VR. Everything I heard about, you know, the buzz out there is that, oh, this is VR done like super right. Like this is a great experience, you know, and it's like if it wasn't for the fact that it's only 3 missions only, it makes like, oh, really? And
so it was the full game. You were like,
if it would have been the full game, it would have been pushing me a little bit more. Okay. You know, still not convinced me 100%, but it would have pushed me a little bit more.
Sir, this is a game called Resident Evil 7. It's a full game in VR.
Yeah, no.
Also Tetris Effect.
Also Tetris Effect. Yeah, I heard Tetris Effect was magnificent.
There's a lot of games, sir. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Well,
just do it. Just do it, for the love of Christ. Just do it.
You know what? Do a Switch. You do a Switch first, and then we'll talk about.
No. See, I fell for this before. No. I currently own GTA 5, and you have yet to start Witcher 3.
I forgot when you started playing GTA 5. Sorry.
No. I will finish with GTA 5 like that. You're not going to finish Witcher 3 like that, and you're not going to get out of it.
I got news for you. I finished the game already and didn't tell you. No, I'm kidding. So
Yes,
going back,
yes.
going back to Ace Combat. So yeah, graphically it looks great. But and this is the first time that they're using the Unreal Engine on it.
Okay.
You couldn't tell. In the sense of what I mean by that is I don't see anything that makes it stand out. I mean, sure, it looks better than the previous games, but almost like expected better. Nothing surprising better. Like it's not like God of War. God of War on PS4, for example, it's like graphically amazing. Red Dead Redemption is like there's stuff that you're like, it's this machine capable of doing this graphics. It's like it's really amazing. It's ridiculous. So it's nothing like that here. And it kind of gets me. It disappoints me because I feel like at this time already, we should be getting an experience where the type of game that that this is, where it's like an open environment, and you're flying through all these areas, and even though it looks good, but it doesn't blow. I don't think the graphics will blow you away, which I would have expected. Of course, I can understand why if they're trying to maintain that 60 frame per second, but I feel like it is time. It is time for, say, for example, if I'm looking at if my aircraft is pointing at the ground shouldn't look so flat.
Oh, wow.
And it's not like it looks perfectly, completely flat or anything like that. But you know what I mean? It's like
flat, yeah.
There is, exactly. No, because some older games were like that. It was like, oh look, it almost looks like there's a building over there, but no, there's just it's just a graphic, but a texture, So it's not that level of terrible, but it's those things that, say for example, if I'm in a war conflict. I want to see. I want to be flying, obviously, in the skies and doing all sorts of dogfighting and craziness. But I also want to be. If I take a glimpse on the ground, I want to see conflict on the ground that looks realistic. And it's almost like whenever they're depicting like this crazy war that is going between these two nations, it's like everything's happening in the air. And the ground is kind of like, oh yeah, there's some surface to air missile. Yeah, you do, you do, but that's what I'm saying. They're like dispersed, here and there. It doesn't feel like a great conflict. At least not yet. I haven't gone obviously to the later stage. I'm very early, in the game still. So
these are just early impressions.
Yeah, this for into the purpose. I've seen later levels on videos and stuff, and you do have your sections where you're actually flying through the cities and like through buildings and stuff like that. And that looks pretty awesome. I'm talking about early on. My impressions, I'd be like, yeah, this looks better. This is the best that Ace Combat has ever looked. And they were using the Unreal Engine. And I'm not really seeing the full power of the PlayStation. Like, this is not greatness. This is just expected. Expectedness away. This is,
Nice.
But it's still good. It is still, especially if you're a fan of the series. I've already started, seeing some reviews and some impressions and stuff like that, and they have been, they have been good. Again, nothing stellar. Not talking about 9s and 10s, but you got your 7s, 8s. Exactly there, and which is right where I would have expected that game to be. To be honest with you, I was a little even surprised at myself going to it, but it's because I kind of wanted to play something
new,
different, and new, and I like the Ace Combat series, and also I remember the Ace Combat. I want to say 5, PlayStation 2, was one of my favorite games of that console. Just because it married this element of I would say Top Gun, this element of like crazy dogfight and like magnificent soundtrack.
Nice.
Like the soundtrack on that game is it's superb. It's really good. It gives you a feeling of
Top Gun.
being yes. It's that
yeah,
level
Top
of actually I almost wish I could play Danger Zone. You know.
Nice.
But let's say what he has.
You could if you
Gets
have
you- gets you pumped
Spotify
up.
on your.
Yeah, I guess you could do
Just
that.
saying.
Guess you could do that. So that combination of the action with the music that really pumps you up,
Mhm.
like you feel like a hero when you're playing.
That's great.
And it's awesome. Now, it's not without its drawbacks, and this is something that I haven't experienced on myself yet, but I've heard it on every review that I've seen already, and it worries me that I'll get to the part. It gets to some areas that evidently are very frustrating, and on top of that, the checkpoint system sucks because the missions on average they're meant to take you probably like 20 minutes on average, but you could be spending hours upon hours of just trying
one
to
mission?
yeah
Like
because
one mission you have to you just
because
one
you
mission?
have to
restart
because
Okay,
you have
okay.
to restart
I
because
was gonna say,
of-
there's only so much fuel in the plane.
well, yeah. The problem is evidently is that the checkpoint system is not it's not forgiving enough if at all. Like some missions you might get a checkpoint after you have spent a lot of time. Some missions you don't get a checkpoint, and even if you are at your very end, if you fail the mission for some reason, you go back to the beginning. You have to do all the things that from it.
Now, was this always an Ace Combat thing, or is this just because, or they just dropped the ball here?
Well, I
You know what I
feel
mean?
well. That's why I say this is. I'm basically at this part. I'm relaying almost the information that I've read from every review
okay.
that I've
So
seen.
we'll find out soon.
Some people have been new to the series.
Mhm.
I don't remember them being this level of bad on the other Ace Combat games that I played.
What's the last Ace Combat? Ace Combat 6, or
Ace Combat
no, Allied something you said, right?
I played Ace Combat 6 also. I don't remember if I beat it. I don't think I did. Ace Combat 5, I remember I beat that, and it was the checkpoint. Like it never like I thought it was normal. Like
Okay.
it was
Ace
it's a
Combat
Japanese
6
game. So
was Fires of Liberation 2007. Jesus Christ,
I
that's more than
wonder-
10 years ago.
yeah.
it
Yeah,
could
I wonder
be.
if now it gets me thinking which one was it the one that I beat. I want to say it was probably 5 or 6. I don't remember because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. By the way, if you buy this, and I think this is still the case, if you buy this on Xbox, if you get automatically Ace Combat 6.
6?
Yeah,
because that
yeah,
was an
backward
Xbox. It
compatible.
shows here it was an Xbox 360 only. So,
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that that was
well,
exclusive.
according to Wikipedia. So, I
Okay.
mean,
So
grain of
the
salt, guys,
Ace
grain of
Combat in if you buy the PlayStation version, you get Ace Combat 5.
okay.
So probably
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that has me a little bit concerned. Another thing that has me a little bit concerned is that this is a game where you actually the chatter from your other pilots is not meant to be there for dressing. You are supposed to listen. You're supposed to be very careful. Listen to the when they do the debriefings at the beginning. Pay attention. Don't be thinking of, I'm just gonna put this plane with this because this plane looks cool. No. You kind of have to make the choice of plane you're gonna use based on the mission.
Specific to the mission.
Specific to the mission, exactly. So if it's a mission that you're gonna be destroying some ground targets, make sure that the plane you get is decent on ground. Or if you don't want to go that route, if you want to go air superiority, then you want to make sure that you have you have some, the
good
warhead that
dogfighter,
you
yeah.
use. That you have some air to ground, some good air to ground missiles or bombs or whatever, because you could get it could get pretty difficult. On
Yeah.
top of that, you want
That's good,
to
though. That's what you would want.
yeah, exactly. You want
level
that
of realism,
experience. It's not meant to be like a silly arcadey thing where you're just shooting and having they're just destroying everything.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be that type of game. Do you have to listen to what and have knowledge of what your pilots are telling you? Of awareness is very important. So in that sense, and sometimes because you're doing so many things, you're trying to you're trying to skip to avoid a missile because someone has a missile lock on you, for example, and but at the same time you're trying to get the target while the other person's harassing you, while the other people are talking, among themselves. It's very hard. Especially, I'm not a native English speaker. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Not at all.
So on top of that, I'm trying to read subtitles that are on the very top of the screen for some reason.
Read subtitles?
Well, you don't have to. Okay. If you understand English very well, you probably won't have wrong. But I have to.
Okay.
I need to see what's happening, especially when they're throwing some military jargon there. Yeah, exactly. So that is super fun. The other thing I was gonna say is the game has almost like a tech tree where you're updating you're getting this currency. So far, thank goodness I haven't heard anything about microtransactions, although I would not be surprised if they're ever included. Let's be real. But this currency that you're getting on the game, it's meant to be spent on upgrades and to planes or newer and better planes and stuff like that. So overall, very happy with the purchase. I paid full price for it. There was no deal, nothing going on.
Nice,
it was just.
You better be happy.
This could have gone both ways. I could have get frustrated with it. I probably will at some point because that's all. I mean, every review was talking about. And there was some parts that I just wanted to take the controller and throw it at my TV, and I'm like, whoa!
I'm
not a very patient person.
Now that you know,
but if I'm ready
into it, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm ready, yeah. Ace Combat 7, guys.
Nice.
Oh, and as far as watching, let me see. I want to make sure that I don't forget on anything.
You don't hate on another movie, yes.
Yeah. Oh God, nothing. I finished season 2 of the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh yes.
And
never heard of this show.
I understand. I understand. You should watch it. It might surprise you.
Yes.
It might surprise you.
Just a little bit.
And now I'm sad because I have to wait for
another season.
Yes. But I will highly, highly, highly recommend for those of you who have seen this and it's like, this is not the type of show that I will ever watch because it doesn't look like anything that I will ever watch.
Oh, it's so my show. It is so my freaking show.
And for more details, I'm going to leave you with Mr. Mad Dog over here. Take it away, Mad Dog.
So, real quick, let me just get to the game because I really haven't done anything new, but I did. I'm still playing Hollow Knight. You know what? I don't even know what my time is in the game, but I've been playing for a good amount. I've already beaten several different bosses. The game is good. I'm a little lost at the moment, so I might probably have to reach out to Giovanni at one point and say, Giovanni, what the fuck am I supposed to go here? Because I'm wandering around. Like it's very, like I said, it's very Metroidvania. So you unlock new abilities when you beat people or you find things, and these are meant for you to now be able to, like any Metroid game, you're now able to go to an area you weren't able to go to before. And I, for the most part, figure stuff out, but I'm just like, I think I'm missing something. I'm not sure where to go from here. But anyway, I still love the game. The game is really, it's all that, everything that, all the praises begin is completely earned. So I definitely recommend it. Excuse me. It's not one of those games that are easy. Because you'll run into some bosses who are like this freaking something master, like it's I can't think of it. Trying to think of his name now. Something master.
The Blaster Master.
We'll call him Blaster Master. He basically he's flying around. The flying enemies here are the most annoying because you try to leap to get closer to them and they're floating away. But when they come at you, they're you know what I mean. It's like, oh my god, they're so annoying. And this is now a boss that's flying. But obviously there's patterns, and you figure this stuff out.
More or less annoying than Medusa heads in Castlevania.
The Medusa heads? Yeah. Oh no.
It's not that level of annoying.
It's not that level of annoying.
Okay.
No, there are some annoying characters just annoy the fuck out of me. But it's never that bad. But I'm loving it. God, the graphically it's beautiful. Music is great. It is seriously.
Yeah.
You should be playing this, sir. You
Hollow
should be
Knight.
playing this.
Yeah. on my list.
That's really all I've been playing. Nothing really else new. I still want to go to the 30-minute demo of Resident Evil, which I will do and I will stream for everybody and see if I can finish it in 30 minutes.
Snap!
The one shot Resident Evil 2 demo, but that'll be probably over the weekend.
I want to see that stream.
Remember,
because I do want to see that stream.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I'm kicking myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kicking myself because I forgot to mention one thing that I did watch, but luckily you did too. So you're gonna bring it up. We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
It's a movie called Hereditary.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about it.
Me too. Yeah.
It's not on purpose.
Me too.
It's not on purpose.
It is not on purpose.
Well, we saw that.
Yeah, we did see it. Yeah.
We did see
I want to quickly, because we already mentioned the Marvelous Miss Maisel. I finally saw the first season. My wife saw the first season. I love this show, sir. And not for nothing, sir. Not that I was in any way doubting you. It was just like, okay, well, I'll put it on. We'll see. Because you said you see the trailer, like, yeah, you know what I mean? You kind of don't know. Dude, this thing has everything that I love. It has the 20s. No, the 50s. It has the 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I love like everything that takes place back in the day with the older cars and the way people used to dress, really dapper.
And the way they used to like talk and
yeah.
interact
So I
and all that.
freaking love shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
And so this is all of that. On top of that is an hilarious, ridiculously, awesomely written show.
Yes,
I mean,
it
it
has won a lot of awards.
Like Emmys upon Emmys.
Yeah.
It has some of the best writing, and it's the comedy that I like.
Yeah.
It's that fast wit comedy. None of this new comedy nowadays. I just don't get it, man. I try, and I always go in to try to watch one of these new Melissa McCarthy comedies and all this stuff, and they're hit and miss, dude, and mostly miss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like once in a blue I find something that's cool, but the rest of the time I don't find it funny. It's just like this is more dumb than anything else.
Yeah.
This is a smart comedy.
Yeah.
An extremely smart comedy. It is like so, and I would say every actor here, there is not one person on the screen who does not bring their A game.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I cannot believe how fucking amazing this show is. And it's been here now for a year and I'm just stumbling upon it now. You know, it's just, what the hell? So I mean, if anything, what I just mentioned sounds cool to you. Synopsis is simple. You've mentioned it before when you first said it, but I'll go through it real quick.
Because you would probably put it better.
Yeah, Miss Maisel is Midge Maisel or Miriam. She's the wife of her obviously her husband is some guy who wants to do stand up. He works at some office somewhere, and they go. You know, she's so freaking supportive of him, dude. Yeah. To levels of you just go, how in the hell? You know what I mean?
It was women in the 50s.
Oh no, yeah, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. It was that
stereotype of like, you know, the man that has the provider and
woman has to support everything.
Supporter.
And she did it. I mean, due to levels of like ridiculous. Yeah. It's just like, oh my god. So one day, because he has a bad skit on his freaking his first poor night, doing his stand up. He doesn't like it, whatever. He goes home, and this is in the very first thing, and it's pretty obvious from the trailer as well. They split up, so she of course is now like lost because he was her world, you know, and all this stuff. And now, so one way or another, she ends up back at that club, and now she's doing the stand up.
Yeah,
and she
by accident,
and she freaking kills to the levels of like, holy crap, this is like some serious like true stand-up comedian just out of the blue.
Yeah. Very natural. Super natural because, natural, again, she's not trying to be a comedian.
Correct.
She's just by accident. She's just venting. Talking.
Yeah,
she's venting. Exactly.
And it just comes out perfectly, dude. Perfectly. Yeah. And she has some of the best. I mean, this series has some of the best comedy. Just some of the best comedy. Best stand-up. If you like stand-up, you got yourself a show to watch. Like Seinfeld was always great for that because you always got a little bit of Seinfeld stand-up. And throughout, you know, And so it was. That's exactly what it has here. And like I said, it takes place during the 50s. I love everyone in the show.
All the characters,
all the characters are great.
Even the supporting role ones.
Susie
and the
is the best. Susie is the one who discovers her because she's up there. She's the one who runs the rundown club where she ends up doing her first skit and realizes she is a diamond in the rough. I need to, you know what I mean? And not in a way to take advantage of her or anything like that, but really just to nurture and say, you know what? No, I'm telling you, this is something you can do.
Well, at first it's she's thinking of herself, obviously, but they've developed a relationship.
True. Yeah, exactly.
But it's,
I mean, and
obviously she's looking at this girl's cha-ching, you know. Bringing money.
Yeah. But the beauty is like throughout the season, it becomes this thing where you can tell even later on when both of them are in trouble. It's like she's like, you know, they're both like, no, man, I'm here. No, we're gonna figure this out together. You know, it's just like it's a beautiful thing, dude. Which Absolutely. I know you've seen already, so I don't know why I'm trying to convince you here, but
no. But convince the listeners because they're thinking of what? Wait a minute. You're talking about a series in the season of 50s. Yeah, it's about a girl that is stand-up comedy. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
And it's everything that it sounds like and more.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. And I thank you and Mrs. Santos for Miss Brito, whatever, for suggesting it because it is very good.
I'm glad you like that. There was something that I have my hesitation whenever I would talk about it. I was like, I know this whole setting you will eat, like you will love, like this is.
Oh, and the music. Oh my God.
That said, it's not the type of show where it's not the it's not like the suspense. I don't want to call it murder. I don't want to say that you only like those type of movies, but it's not. It's not your typical. Like it's not a fucking Jack Ryan, for example. Or it's not freaking.
That said, there are many moments where I'm just like.
Yeah, you're in suspense.
You're in suspense because of the situation that's.
You don't want her to fuck off.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You're like, damn, I want to. And then I feel like I said, you feel for all the characters, just so well done.
And she is like. Like
she's a powerhouse,
without trying, she's an extraordinary woman. Like the level of extraordinary that
Absolutely.
you're like you could tell, and it's not like she's meant to be like this folk hero, for example, because it's just also she makes some dumb choices and she's imperfect and whatever, But
and the parents
are hilarious.
This is all Jewish family, so if you just think of Jewish comedy and all this, and you go, oh yes, I know what this is. It is so good, guys.
They lean very hard on it too.
They do, and they should. I mean, it is what it is, but really, really good. Highly recommend that. The another movie I saw real quick, and I'm not going to say too much on because I do want to go to the one we saw together, is Sweet Country, which is an Australian Western film which takes place in the 1920s.
Okay.
And it actually is filmed in Australia, and the whole thing has basically what happens is in the 20s, of course, even in Australia, there was a separation of classes, a separation of race between your black fella and your white fella, which is how they always said that in their area. Yeah. What's the white fella? He was a black fella. That's just the way they spoke out there. This one Aboriginal guy who is just trying to take care of his niece and his wife ends up shooting and killing a white guy. And in this time, it becomes a serious thing. So they try to hunt him down. They try to do everything. However, him being from the area uses the area to his advantage and stuff like that. It's a little. It's not as maybe cool as it's not Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very Western, very slow, very methodical. It's big on its big cinematic views and the angles and it catches. Very, very cool. That said, dude, this movie left me pissed the hell off, dude.
Damn it.
And I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just saying I was just like, I walked away going, this is not to the levels. If you ever seen $1 Million Baby, I won't see what happens with you. If you've seen $1 Million Baby, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Then yes, this is a great film. But fuck this film.
Well, fuck this film.
Okay, that's all I'd say.
So this one also leaves you with
this not as great as $1 Million Baby, but I'll say that this is a very good film. But fuck this film. $1 Million Baby is an excellent film.
Should I watch $1 Million Baby?
But fuck that film. So It's up to you, sir. I leave that to you. I am not. This is not a David joint. It's a well. It's
so they cut it in the middle and the roll credits. Got it. Okay.
No, it's not that. Not that at all. And finally, we both saw Hereditary.
Yes, we did.
Over at Casa de Martin.
Bar and Grill.
Sure, Bar and Grill. So if you don't know what Hereditary is, it is the last year's probably hit horror film.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically.
Where to begin?
Where do we begin with this one? So the synopsis is simple. This woman at the beginning of the movie, the woman is at a funeral. Her mom just died, and they're burying her.
The matriarch of the house.
The matriarch of the house, and she slowly discovers her family secret, which is really crazy.
Yeah.
After she passes away.
Yeah.
Family little by little starts to break down and go crazy, starting with the daughter.
Yeah.
You can tell that there were grandmother's hands were on everything.
Yeah.
But dude, I have to say, regardless of how you feel about the film, that last portion, dude, that messed with me the next few days. It was just
really?
like, son of a bitch.
It did.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't get me to the point where I was going crazy and like that. But it's like certain images.
Yeah.
Just kept ringing as I'm doing stuff. It's late at night.
It has you watching behind your.
It
shoulder.
has me watching freaking Disney films. But that said, I thought it was an okay movie. I thought it was slow pace. It's a slow burn. I think is who credit to Adam who suggested the film to I think both of us mentioned. It's a slow burn because it sets things up. It takes its time to set things up. It takes its time to set things up.
Yeah.
And you're either with that or you're not. And
surprisingly, I was with that, even though I don't particularly enjoy long, strong things.
True, I think it's because we were with a group, and I think I mean, yes, it's a group of 4 people, but still, it was not just you by yourself or you and your wife.
And plus, we were warned also that this is gonna be and we tell you, and not to be like spoilery or anything like that, we tell you because you are gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it like, okay, so what's gonna happen? But don't worry, you get your answer.
Oh my God, do you get your answer?
You get your answer. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the movie was okay. My wife did not like it. I think
my wife did not like it at all. I believe she hated it. She put it like
worst movie ever.
Every bad horror movie, she always compares it to the Happening.
The Happening? Oh God, the Happening.
She said it was worse than The Happening. But don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. I'm not gonna say it's the scariest or the most like freaky like. It did leave me with moments of like here's the thing. The best way to describe it is it's disturbing.
It is very disturbing.
It is very disturbing because
and that's on purpose. And I think if you look at it that way, then you go, okay, the movie's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to keep you unnerved all the whole time.
Unnerving. That's the word. Unnerving. I'm sorry. More than disturbing, unnerving.
Yes.
Because disturbing will be like you watch something like it will have points that it'll be like very disturbing actually, but more than that, throughout the whole movie, even when nothing is happening, you still can't feel comfortable. You still it's feeling uncomfortable and feeling unnerved.
Yes.
Because and I think this is like very smart. That it's not a movie that do like cheap scares. It's not a movie that is meant to like it doesn't show it's not a movie that's gonna show you like a ridiculously like freaking ugly like PT levels of ugly thing like jump scares at you. It's just the things that are happening because you're not getting any of that. It almost makes you feel uncomfortable.
It's an unsettling film.
Yeah, it's unsettling. Yeah, another perfect word. Unsettling. Because it's out of what your expectation is.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And I think I know that my wife didn't like it, but she also heard it. Didn't really watch.
Yeah, that's another thing.
She was just like, I'm not fucking watching this.
Yeah, it was too scary.
At some point, she was like, No, I can't see it.
No.
I know how Joanne feels about that, and she doesn't really care for scary films.
Yeah.
Actually, she really does not like scary films. So it was a little bit.
I'm surprised that she was there.
Yeah, I know. It was a little shocked that she actually sat for it. You know what I mean? And I was like, but at the same time, I was like, I gotta see it. You know, I gotta do it.
It was the ones that like I meant to
was
like
entertaining,
I
yeah.
wanted to watch this movie at the movie theater because I heard yeah, it's a slow burn, but that and it's gonna fuck you up. Like you need to watch it. Like this is, and like I think that was maybe a little bit too hype, but
Maybe,
still it's still worth it
Because
it's still worth
I was
watching.
expecting, I was expecting maybe a little bit of a bigger thing, or maybe
Yeah.
it just when it says the ending, it's like the end.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
the ending. So the last fifth of the film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not really like the last
Yeah,
third,
exactly.
the last fifth of the film.
It's almost like
That said, that last fifth, if that was to if they were to extrapolate like that to any longer, I don't know if I would have suffered. So maybe it was okay then. It was just
so
the
maybe
last
it was okay for it to end there. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all we've been doing. Welcome back, guys, and we're ready for our trailer of the week.
Trailer of the week.
Wait, how are you pronouncing week?
Oh, it's not trailer of the witch. I thought it was the trailer of the witch.
Man, I need to check the spelling of what I
we
wrote
do
here.
someone conjuring who talk with a witch,
Oh.
and then she gives the trailer
Oh, okay. Yes. So our trailer of the week is
or the trailer of the week.
that's not what I said, no.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to steal your joke.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's already over.
What was our trailer? Oh, yes. John Wick 3. Yes.
I'm sorry. John Witch.
John Wick, indeed. Yes. John Wick 3, sir.
Oh, my
Chapter
God.
3, Parabellum.
What else was? Well, actually, I have. Well, actually, what else it could have been? But go ahead. Let's let's get this one over with.
I actually have to search what Parabellum means because I have no clue.
I have no clue what parallel means, but I went into this trailer when it came out. I kind of wanted to save it for this moment to have the reactions with you. I obviously I knew what I was. I knew what I was gonna get. There was no way that this was gonna disappoint.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It
And
was not Sicario.
No.
Sicario 2. I
Correct.
mean,
I know what you mean.
yeah. So the trailer was a beautiful montage of carnage, to the tunes of almost sounded like a Frank Sinatra song, even though I know it's not. But
Yes. It could have been.
it could have been. I don't know. For all intents and purposes, it was beautiful.
So Parabellum is Latin, and it means prepare for war.
Oh,
So
that's right.
That's actually very perfect, I think, for this particular film.
Yeah.
What did you think of the trailer, sir?
Yeah. Well, exactly what I just.
Oh,
what you
I
were
didn't know.
looking
Yeah.
for.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
No.
you wanna go a little more
It was
in
very
depth
well.
about it.
It was very well.
Clearly, there are some new people.
It was very well done. It was very well done because in the things that I always come into the trailers very carefully is with trailers that share too much.
Too much info.
They give stuff away.
Mhm.
And this one it was just a montage of John Wick being John Wick.
Jumping.
So
Although
it
even
doesn't-
that, I want to. I want to wait to see.
like I have no idea what's going to happen. It definitely it just shows that this movie might as well take moments after after the second one ended, which is great.
Yes.
And I'm definitely super pumped for the next chapter when it comes out on May. Was it 7?
It is coming. Hold on a second here. May 17th
May 17th.
of this year.
There you go.
It stars, as if you didn't already know, Keanu Reeves introduces Halle Berry to a role. Returning is Ian McShane as Winston, which is the head of the Continental Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Flynn introducing, I guess someone's going to play Jerome, or rather Jerome Flynn's going to play someone new. Angelica Houston is also, I saw her in the trailer,
Yeah.
offering, or he was looking for a passage, and she said, No, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne's coming back as the Bowery King.
Yep.
Robin Taylor Lord, I'm not sure who he is in this film. I know him, I just don't know who he is. Lance Reddick, which is the one who from the Continental Hotel, the guy who always who's very the concierge of the hotel, yeah. Which let me tell you, that dude's too fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Mark Dacascos, this guy, he plays a character named Zero. This guy, believe it or not, first off, he has been the host of Iron Chef, but I remember him early on, back in, I want to say, early 90s films, a capoeira movie called Only the Strong. Back when capoeira was like this big thing. If you don't know what capoeira is, it's Brazilian martial arts. And it was this big thing. Only the Strong was the movie. If anybody's seen this, I'm probably the only one fucking seen this, but still.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway, I recognized him from that when I first saw him. Hiroyuki Sanada, which is actually the actor and voice actor, and I believe the what do you call that? The actor that they use for gaming. What do they do that when they motion capture? The motion capture guy who is in that new game Judgment from the guys of Yakuza.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's a guy right here. I'll show you his picture. That's him.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's
so he's in the movie as well. So it's got a good cast.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, just Keanu and Lauren Fisher alone just makes it just throw it back to the Matrix.
Oh hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking through this cast right now, dude. Let me tell you, this guy right here. His name is Yayan Ruhian. He is an Indonesian. This guy right here, martial artist. I have seen him in several films. Dude is insane, dude. It's just to know that he's in this film. Oh yeah, he's a true martial art.
Damn.
Indonesia, they have this martial art called, I think it's called Silat or Sikat. I think it's Silat, which is very specific to that region. This is what they train their military and police and all this stuff. And there's this movie called I was going to say Red Dead Redemption, but it's not Red Dead Redemption.
It's Red Dead Revolver. Gotcha.
No. It's called, let me get the name of it here. It's called The Raid Redemption. The Raid: Redemption.
Okay.
And so that's probably one of my favorite films. And if you have not seen
The
this.
Raid Dead Redemption. Gotcha. Okay.
The Raid
Dead
Redemption.
All right.
and there was also a sequel called The Raid 2. Anyway, the point is to know that he's in it. To know he did a little small role in The Force Awakens as well. But anyway, this cast, there's a lot of people in here. I'm already really excited for this film. I was already excited when
yeah, so, definitely. And we got some interesting trailers that came out this week. I mean, obviously, we should mention that the trailer for Spider-Man
Far From Home
came out released. Yeah. Just in passing, like what do you think about that in general?
I was not blown away by it. I thought it was, and this could just be the trailer, and who knows what it is, but it felt. I think I'm coming to the point where I'm
fatigue.
MCU fatigue. It feels like more MCU, and it's just like, now it's just not as cool as it was. I've mentioned this to you before. I am very interested in watching the next Avengers film, which I assume is the last Avengers film. Not that MCU is not going to do other movies, but I think they may back burner Avengers for a while. Excuse me. But that said, I just want to see it so I can just get it over with, And this
it almost feels like, let's because at the same time it's almost like the reveal of this movie. Even though yes, we know it's happening, and we know that Black Panther is happening, and we know that tons of others are happening.
Guardians of the Galaxy
supposedly about the people that supposedly disappear or quote unquote died, quote quotes.
Yeah.
Knowing that it kind of like diminishes the
impact of
the impact. And almost my wish to, like, I definitely want to see the Avengers 4, but now it's almost like you used to say, it's
you're taking the breath out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Let's get it over with.
This, by the way, Spider-Man: Far From Home comes out in July. Takes place clearly after the Avengers 4. So obviously, things are going to be fine for Peter Parker and all his peeps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and if we can also mention, things will be fine in the world as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. That's another thing.
You know,
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like
the
they're supposed to have to disappear. Oh, don't worry. Everybody will come back
Yeah.
unless they're super dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Which seems like inconsequential.
Exactly. It really just destroys any
Yeah.
momentum that you may have coming to this. They should have waited
See,
to
this
really
is-
do this
this is
trailer. Let me
why-
tell you.
Excuse me. This is why I have a hunch. I'm not saying that I'm right.
Yeah.
This is more a longing and a hoping that this happens almost immediately after the Spider-Man Homecoming, but before the events of Avengers.
Okay.
Just because we already know that the Marvel has done this many times, where the
Yes.
order of movies is not the order of events.
They did that with Well, usually it's decades. So I mean, for instance, what's the one that's coming up next? Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
That's in the 90s.
That's exactly. That could go
clearly
back
20 years
but
ago,
even
yeah.
but even even when Homecoming that was not the first time we saw Spider-Man.
No.
We saw Spider-Man.
Yeah, but that was still in order. We saw Spider-Man in was it Captain America?
Captain America
Civil War.
Civil War, yeah. There you go.
But all that still was in order. That was the first time we saw him. But we
Okay,
saw him
okay.
later. That
Okay.
actually happened after.
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
But I still believe that they will play with the order.
Sure.
The order doesn't matter much.
I mean, that would
and
be
second,
great. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, and second, for an apocalyptic level event like supposedly happen, which when I say apocalyptic, I mean it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
half of the people disappear. There's gonna be destruction and chaos and anarchy, or that is the way it should be. I mean, that was the way you
That's what
imagine.
You assume, yeah.
That you assume. It's not like, oh, those people are gonna come back, and then the world is gonna be like, the stuff that got destroyed is not gonna undestroy itself.
Well,
So-
remember, the snap didn't destroy anything.
No,
It just-
let's just say the snap took away half of the people. Half of the people could have been like a pilot on a
Driving,
plane,
correct?
or
Which did
driving.
happen at the end of the thing.
Yeah, exactly. In a helicopter like that. So it's or people in critical things. So it'll be
So even
a
people-
massive massive destruction.
Even people who weren't victim to the snap may still be a victim.
May
of
still
the
be a
snap.
victim
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
snap.
yeah,
Exactly. So my point
does
is,
look-
this is a
yeah.
cataclysmic event.
Yeah.
And
Spoilers here for the snap, for the record.
Yeah, spoilers here for that movie came
Yeah.
out this year. But seeing Spider-Man here, you don't see or at least nothing on the show in the trailer makes it look like it's that level. Like it's that level
That's why,
of world.
honestly, I would love
For me to,
for you to be right.
Yeah.
I really would love you to be right.
you don't think they're that smart.
But it's not. I don't think that's that smart. I just really think that marketing just has said, "Fuck it, let's just release it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it doesn't matter.
But it makes no sense.
Nobody believes that Spider-Man is dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right,
Spoilers
right.
again for Infinity War. Nobody believes. I just realized that's just like
Well,
said that like nothing. I don't have to bleep myself. out
Whoever
now.
wanted to watch this movie already saw it.
I would assume so,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So, for real.
But it makes no sense.
What are you
though.
listening to this if
I
you
know,
haven't
right?
seen Infinity War? This is not your kind of podcast, let me tell you. But anyway, my point is to say that I think that they're comfortable enough to say, people know this is not going to ruin the rest of the film. They can still take chances elsewhere. They can also just say, hey, yeah, you may think things are going to go or whatever, and it still may not. That said, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to be fine.
Unless they resolve this in the stupidest way possible, like this will be like this whole 10-year thing would have gone completely to waste, in my opinion, if this goes as, oh well, let's just travel back in time and stop him from snapping, or so you know what I mean. It's like stopping it's like, well, to avoid the catastrophe, let's go back in time and kill Hitler, the kind of situation. You know what I mean? It's
The
like,
only problem with that is the usual problem with the time paradox.
yeah, right. No,
You know,
true. But they'll find. I feel like if they're willing to go that far, they will find a way to quote unquote fix that.
Yeah, I would hope that the Russo brothers have thought this shit through.
Yes, they better.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they are.
And it doesn't look like, from what we're seeing here, it doesn't give us any hope.
Well, that can still be the bigger Disney machine doing this. So we don't know whose idea was it to release this trailer. Now, anyway, we're not talking about that. That's not the trailer of the week. It's John Wick 3.
It's worth,
I know what you mean.
It's worth discussing. Yeah,
that's a news item. We go.
Yeah.
So we're jumping to news real quick.
You know what? No, fuck it. Because there was a movie that I wanted to be the of the week. And this is the one that really fucked my nuts. Because
wow, that sounds painful, my friend.
Dude, it's just the trailer itself.
The trailer is great.
I hope
on top of that, yeah.
Well, it was a great trailer, and not in the sense that it was like grandiose with explosions or that. It's just the level of ridiculousness that it is sounds so awesome. That I think you told me the moment you find the name, you see the name of it, you're gonna be like,
what the hell?
Fuck this. I need to see this.
Yes,
I need to see what this is. I need to see what this is.
It's so intriguing. So the name of the film, first off, is called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. And it's just like, what?
First of all, not only the title completely literal, it's already spoiling the movie.
True.
Yeah,
that's very true.
It already spoils the movie.
Yeah.
You know. Second,
because this is a contemporary film, actually.
Yes.
It's not taking place in the. I mean, there's maybe scenes, but yeah.
Second, what? like, wait, what?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I added it to the list. I said he's got to see this shit.
Dude,
he's got to see this shit. It's like insane.
And again, we're not talking about. It's not that the trailer looks bombastic, we're crazy. No. The trailer looks just like any other, almost action movie. I might say revenge, even though it's not a revenge type of movie, but it just looks like something like that. But it looks like a movie that is about one thing, and then in the middle of in the very middle of the trailer, it just cuts into like something else.
Something sci-fi. It's like,
wait, what? Yeah. Like, what? And then you see the title, and even when it presents you the title, like there is a literal line in between the Man Who Killed Hitler. There's a line in the middle where it says "and," and then the other half. Oh, and by the way, and also kill Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot.
Yes. The Bigfoot. Yeah. So yes. That to me is if I was going by surprise level rather than expectation, that would be to me the trailer of the week. For the first time in the history of Gigi's trailer of the weeks, we have a Parabellum.
We have two. Yeah, it's okay. We have two trailers, guys.
We got.
I will definitely share these with you guys on the group so you can see it because you have to. You just gotta see it. You just gotta see it. And it looks good. It does not look like it's some. I mean, hello, it has freaking. What's his name? Oh fuck, what is his name?
I don't know.
Sam Elliott, who you probably don't know. You know him by face when you see him, but you don't know him. And it's got good people in it. So I'm going, fuck, no, this is a serious. And then you get to the end, you get the title card. You're like, whoa, Bigfoot. And I saw the footprint, and I was just like, okay, unless they're following something that's that he has to take out, whatever. So I don't know. It looks
like one of those.
Yeah.
Fake movies that will be a fake trailer that will play within the trailer of a real movie.
Yes,
that is a comedy.
Exactly.
And they just put it looks like something you will hear when playing GTA 5. There you go.
Yeah. A fake trailer playing in the background.
A fake trailer playing in the background.
Or one of those weird grindhouse trailers.
John Wick. I'm sorry, Mr. Wick. You have to share
the spotlight.
Here.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
So we got John Wick, and we have I can't repeat it. The Man Who Shot Hitler and also killed the Bigfoot. And it's now time for some news, guys. A little more serious stuff here. Let's be real.
No, it's just as crazy.
It is just as crazy. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you how crazy it is. Rocket League gets full cross-play platform
What?
play. Yes. And yes,
No.
that even includes PlayStation 4. Yeah, yes.
PlayStation say yes.
PlayStation said, okay, fine.
PlayStation went fine. Fine. Okay.
Damn it. Shit. Rocket League players can now battle each other regardless of the system they're playing on. Developer Psyonix rolled out cross-platform play support for the vehicular soccer game this past Monday, across Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. Let me
Holy
tell
crap,
you,
that's huge.
yeah, I'm gonna say, let me tell you how. First off, let's be real. We have to get credit where credit is due. As much as I don't really care for the game,
Which is great. It's a great game.
Fortnite.
Fortnite, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
We can definitely say pave the road here for this. Okay. So I mean, yes, I will admit, yes, it existed before, but ever since the walls went up, no one ever thought the walls were coming back down. And Sony was adamant.
That wall down.
Yeah, adamant that we're not bringing this wall down.
Well, actually, some might say that it was Rocket League who first dabbled in crossplay
and made it show how easy it was
by accident.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. It's
So
just
they
switch.
did. My
bad. Did we turn that on?
Did we turn that switch on? I'm sorry. What do you
sorry,
mean
yeah.
to? It's it's gonna take so much.
Yeah. Psyonix and Sony added Rocket League to PS4's crossplay beta program today, an initiative that launched in September in large part thanks to Fortnite and player outcry. Cross-platform play is now available in all of Rocket League online matches, including casual, competitive, and extra modes. So yeah, this is great news. This is, by the way, an article from Polygon from Michael McWhirter. But no, this is actually really good stuff. I don't play Rocket League. I think that while cross-platform play, I think is a good thing. Anything that gives players more choice is a good thing.
It's fantastic.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
fantastic. Yeah.
I personally, for me, it never really made much a difference. I'm not that type of. I'm not an online gamer like that.
Right.
But that said, there are many who are, and this game is perfect for that. It's absolutely perfect. It's one thing to say, obviously, if you're playing on PC, a shooter like Fortnite versus playing on your freaking phone, you know what I mean? Obviously, somebody has an advantage. Here, this is a soccer game. It comes down to skill and how you play it. And my understanding is, you have to play it on the freaking controller. Anyway, I'm sure you can still play with a keyboard and mouse, but who the fuck wants to do that?
There are people. I'm not one of them, and I like PC is my preferred choice of gaming.
All I can say to those people is,
but that's not
damaged.
We're not gonna talk about this, Martin.
Just saying.
We're gonna focus on the news. We're gonna focus on the news.
You're right. You're absolutely.
And I think this news is fantastic. It is phenomenal. Just because, I'm also not a huge multiplayer game. That said, I've dabbled here and there in some games, and I think every game that could support it. What I mean by that is every game where, let's say, the standards of the performance of the game allows it to be equal, because it'll suck if suddenly you're playing on I'm on a PlayStation. This is an example of a game, not Rocket League.
Yeah.
But let's say an example of a game, I'm playing on PlayStation 4 Pro, full 60 frames per second on this shooter, for example, and I'm competing against someone that is on the Switch that is probably running at 30 frames, and stuff like that. So I would say the game will have to support equal playground, so to speak. And think of it, it's fantastic because suddenly you don't have to worry about a population problem because of the type of system it is.
Correct.
Oh, the PlayStation or like it was the problem, right? Remember last generation. This generation, I think, is more equalized now, favoring PlayStation actually. But beforehand, all the shooters, and it seems like all the shooter people, the preferred game console was the Xbox 360.
360, yeah.
So suddenly those same games will come out on PS3, but the populations were much smaller.
Yes.
So now, obviously now it's skewing the other way. Now you don't have to.
You don't have to worry about that.
With that, you don't have to worry about that. Exactly. Correct. All your games will be easier to get on the game.
It's good for the publishers, developers, the gamers.
Yeah. I don't think there should be. I don't think they should make it. Yeah, exactly. And the console also, because if what's the point of console warring? For example, if you want to go to that, and but you can't really prove that your console of choice makes you a better player or anything like that because you can't really play against it's awesome tournament Xbox versus PlayStation tournament.
Oh, we said that
stuff
before,
like that.
man. That would be amazing.
That'd
It's
be
like,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, big.
So kudos to Psyonix and Rocket League. They obviously,
Yeah, they're not.
Good
They,
stuff,
they, it, yeah. The future is bright for cross right?
For cross-platform.
And again, it was one of those things that you really had to drill into Sony's head so that they could finally relent,
Yes.
as they tend to do
Yes.
whenever they're in first place. So my next piece is also courtesy of Polygon's Always Good, and it's something I just want to touch real quick because I like this news. Epic's Game Store now has a refund policy matching Steam.
oh yeah.
So this was actually or I think it was last Sunday when this was revealed.
Mm-hmm.
It says the Epic Game Store has updated its refund policy to one matching the terms of the Steam Marketplace, providing for unconditional refunds for games within 2 weeks of purchase and less than 2 hours played.
Okay.
I honestly, I wish everybody will adopt this level, even in consoles. I don't care. In consoles, I understand why they wouldn't. Because you don't have to worry about the game not running on your particular console. Because it's not. I mean, if that's the problem, then you probably has a broken console. But on PC, you do have to,
Absolutely,
be worrying about that. Driver issues and incompatibilities and etc. This news came from Twitter from Sergey. I'm gonna mispronounce his name. I apologize. Galyonkin. Galyonkin.
Sergey. Yeah. Galyonkin.
Galyonkin. Epic's director of publishing strategy. For pre-order games, the return window is until 14 days after the game's launch date. Both the 2 weeks time frame and the 2-hour trial periods are featured in Valve's return policy, which was implemented in June 2015. It says, Galyonkin says, Epic is in the process of developing a self-service form for filling and receiving refunds, which is something I have to commend Steam to. You don't have to be sending like customer service or anything. You could it's automatic. You can just do it. Exactly. It doesn't go right away because I think it still needs to be sort of approved, but the approval window is usually pretty quick.
Okay.
So for now, players who want their money back will have to open a ticket with Epic Game Support. And then it says further down on the Twitter thread, in which he announced this, Gal Yonkin says that Epic Game Store will one day add user reviews. However, developers will have an option to opt into having reviews of their products in their storefront.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, and then there's a quote that says, "Plus, we want to have a solution against review bombing." He added. So far, this is sounding really good. Again, I mentioned that I like, regardless of how you feel about Epic and Fortnite and yada yada, I think this is a great idea. It's a great it's something great that happened to the PC, in general.
Yeah.
Because Steam needs competition.
It does.
I always say that Steam needs competition and
everything
like
needs competition.
Really direct competition. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Competition is always great for the consumer.
Yes.
My next piece, Game of Thrones.
What?
Announces its final season premiere date with a teaser trailer.
So winter is coming?
Winter is here, finally.
Holy shit. Oh,
Let me tell you.
Oh, no.
The release date for Game of Thrones Season 8 is finally here, as HBO released details just before the first new episode of True Detective. True Detective Season 3 just came out, FYI. Good series, FYI. The final season will premiere on April 14th. As an additional surprise, HBO also treated fans to a short trailer, which might feature the most footage we've seen so far of the Game of Thrones final season.
The Game of Thrones.
But just like every Game of Thrones trailer over the last couple of years, it's hard to tell what is real and what is misdirection. Although the teaser doesn't paint a clear picture of one thing that comes. although the teaser doesn't paint a clear picture of one thing that's to come, a full-blown Stark reunion, which is exactly what I can't wait for. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, realistically, I just thought about it. I was talking about this with a friend of mine at work. Not you, obviously. You wouldn't know about this. But anyway, the fact that Jon Snow and Arya still haven't been reunited yet. This is a reunion that still needs to happen. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like you think about it, you go, when I never forget, Battle of the Bastards.
Nah.
Or shortly before Battle of the Bastards. Spoilers here a little bit for Game of Thrones, but the reunion between Sansa and Jon Snow is just like, man, it's so, it doesn't dawn on you until you see them and you go, yeah, man, and then of course I've been doing rewatches. In rewatches, you go, yeah, they haven't seen each other since episode 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the last time they saw each other. Like, fuck, that was a long time ago. You know what I mean? So, and it feels like you feel it when you look at it. You go, fuck, and I literally say, fuck,
Yeah.
But no, but realistically, the Arya still hasn't done it. She can't. Well, I don't know if you saw the series, but everybody see it. She made it back to Winterfell, and Snow was off doing something else at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it. This is that reunion.
This is the final thing that you fans want to see. I say you fans, but I'm a big fan of it also. But this is the thing that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
And guess what? After that, what is it? Either Jon and Daenerys wedding, or one of them dies horribly because, of course, this is Game of Thrones, and it has to break your heart. So the latter is more likely.
I would say both happens.
Oh, yeah,
because
probably.
it always happens at a wedding.
Oh, that's right. Yes. The blue wedding.
The blue wedding. It is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So yes, look forward to that again. That is coming on April 14th.
14.
Yes.
Wow.
I have
the date already.
I have to re-up my subscription.
You might want to take, the date now.
Yeah, I do.
Take the day off too.
Yeah.
So, you guys remember that back in December, rapper 2 Milli, whatever the fuck he is, filed a legal suit against Fortnite for Fortnite's use of the Milli Rock dance. The Scrubs actor Donald Faison wasn't too pleased either, and he also sued for the use of the Poison Dance. Or did he sue, or did he complain? He sued also.
No, it's a suit. There's
right.
many suits.
There's been many suits. Yeah, the backpack kid also, or the mother of the backpack kid filed suit, and over the use of the Russell. Or the floss, whatever.
The floss dance, yeah.
This is just to say that because Fortnite has made billions of dollars, now everybody's smelling blood, and everybody's going against them for this petty shit, which I still believe is petty, just because
it is extremely petty.
Well, because it is, you're not, they're not stealing a choreograph, they're just stealing a move.
I think the only
one you can patent move, then we live in a ridiculous world.
The only one who I think has a case in this would be the first one you mentioned. I don't know his name, Millie, whatever.
Millie.
Yeah. Everybody else is joining the bandwagon. But the funny thing is that I believe that the law offices are all joining in, grabbing all these people, and you know what I mean?
Well, of course, yeah. They're looking for, because freaking Alfonso Ribeiro from French Prince, the cartoon, basically. Suing for the cartoon as if he invented the cartoon,
Which he said he did.
Which he said, actually, that he didn't. So anyway, this all to say that obviously he has made some other companies that have made use of said move kind of nervous.
Of course.
So Microsoft, and I think I posted it as Microsoft, has bitched out and decided to remove the flaws and the cartoon emotes from Forza Horizon 4 in its latest update. This comes courtesy of 24/7 and addressed to, or credited to Stephanie Nunnally. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing names, but
no worries.
the Playground Games has released the Series 5 update to Forza Horizon 4. Along the extra content and the list of fixes and improvements, the patch notes mention the emotes being pulled from the title. The reason wasn't provided, but we could assume that it has something to do with the lawsuits against Epic Games. There is no information if Microsoft Studio has received cease and desist or anything like that. But we can almost speculate. Also, I almost feel like that should be the course of action. The course of action first should be don't use it. I mean, at least if we lived in
sensible times,
times, where things will make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The stages should be, hey, cease and desist. If you don't respect, none of this cease and desist could be respected because again, it's a move. It's a freaking move. It's moving your hips or your hands or whatever. It's not enforceable. But let's say that if we lived in a world where it is, cease and desist first, and then followed by a threat to sue, and then opening the suit case, the suing, if it came to that. But of course, that's not how our legal system works because I mean,
not at all.
Really, our legal system, it's a joke in itself.
We'll call it a system, but is it really? No.
So yeah, I don't have much to say about that. Other than that, I am extremely upset that Microsoft has bitched out and caved in to the patent trolls because I hate patent trolls.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. So my next piece, EA cancels open world Star Wars game.
Oh crap! I did not have that one. Yes, that was actually.
Oh crap! I did not have that one.
Yes,
that one was. Oh, hold on. Let me just get through the stamp story, and then we can take this shit apart.
Yes. Oh my god.
Electronic Arts has canceled its open world Star Wars game, according to 3 people familiar with the goings on at the company. By the way, this is a story from Jason Schreier, Kotaku. And this was originally done on this Tuesday just passed, which has been updated since, but I'm just going to give you the gist and we'll go into the updates after that. According to 3 people familiar with the ongoings of the company, the game announced alongside the shutdown of Visceral Games back in 2017 had been in development in EA's office in Vancouver. EA Vancouver, a large studio that mostly handles support for a variety of the publisher's games, including FIFA and Battlefront, had been working on this open world Star Wars game since October 2017, when EA closed Visceral Games. Until then, Visceral, best known for its popular Dead Space horror series, was developing its own Star Wars game. That project, codenamed Ragtag, was a linear action-adventure game directed by Uncharted director Amy Hennig. EA Vancouver had been assisting on the project, and when EA closed Visceral Games in October 17 of 2017, the Vancouver studio took over. Well, unfortunately, that project's been canceled too.
Yeah.
EA did not immediately respond to requests for comment. EA had not shown any of EA Vancouver's open world Star Wars game publicly, but the publisher talked about it when it announced Visceral's demise. This is a quote from that time. It has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to come back to and enjoy for a long time to come, we needed to pivot the design, the company said at the time. A development team from across EA Worldwide Studios will take over development of this game, led by a team from EA Vancouver that has already been working on the project. And so I'm not going to get much more into that. Essentially, here's what we know from that time. It was being handled by Visceral Games, Amy Hennig's team at that point. It was going to be very Uncharted looking, feeling, maybe Star Wars game.
Is this the one?
This is the one. This is the same one. It was supposed to be. They had a codename was Ragtag.
Before it was Star Wars 13.
Yeah, but that actually was.
That was something else.
That was Disney.
That was actually something that.
No, it was LucasArts. That was LucasArts.
And that looked amazing.
Yeah,
and
sure,
of course,
did. Yeah. So something similar though, being headed up by Amy Hennig. That alone was like what? And then Visceral. That was like yes, we need that. That got canned, as did Visceral, unfortunately, because they wanted to go open world. Because they wanted to do
Destiny.
Yeah,
They wanted to have the Destiny.
We assume.
Yeah.
They never specifically said that, but
You can
you know,
smell
if
it.
you read into the word salad that they like to put out there,
Yeah.
you can say, oh, that's kind of where they want to go. Well, that shit's out the window as well. They basically the project itself has been canceled. However, it has been completely redone. Now
Retooled.
it's going to be a much smaller game.
A dating
And-
simulator.
Huh?
A dating simulator.
Yes.
I heard.
Star Wars Dating Simulator.
With a match 3 element.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
A la
That would
Candy Crush.
Yes, that
Yes.
would be the only way, personally, that I think that game will come out in 2020, which is what they said.
Oh, yeah. That's,
They've
yeah.
already, they've already,
Lols.
yeah. So I have, so here's the absolute truth, sir. I have a vote of 0 confidence in anything EA. Well, I already boycotted EA, right?
Yeah.
So I have already spoken openly how I feel about EA. I have even less confidence. Think for a moment.
Yeah.
When was it that they got the license for Star Wars?
Almost. They're coming on their, what, 9th year? It was a 10-year.
It's a 10-year deal, but I don't
Deal.
think we're close to that. I think we're up to year 6.
6 or
Something like
it's,
that.
It's high. It's high numbers.
So what do we have so far?
Well, we have Battlefront, Battlefront 2.
Okay.
We have Battlefront, and Battlefront 2.
And Battlefront 2, yeah. So we have 2 games. One, which was
Middling.
okay, yeah. Second one was
An unmitigated disaster for
Yes.
the company
Yes.
and for the industry in general.
exactly. And we have no actual Star Wars games, good Star Wars games, to show from this deal.
Surprise!
Yeah, dude. At some point, I have to say, Disney, step in, guys.
I know, right? It,
Pull the plug.
first of,
Pull the plug, guys. This is
you
pull the
get
plug.
you get the impression that EA just does not know what the hell to do with this property, and just like I said, there is 0 confidence. There is still a project in the works that so far
Yes.
it seems like it has been rolling along, and there's a possibility that we might have the 3rd one,
So-
which is the one from Respawn Entertainment.
Yes, from Respawn, which comes out this year.
What?
Yes. Oh yeah, 2019.
No,
And-
that's getting delayed. I haven't seen a single.
Thank you. That was what I was reaching. I was like, comes out this year, and we've seen nothing.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh yeah,
Nothing.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I don't have faith in that one. 0 confidence, guys. Vote of 0
All
confidence.
right, all right. There has been cases. Let's just say nothing has leaked. There's still a possibility, and I know that this
That's because they don't have anything to leak
respawn
yet.
people, this respawn group, they
Oh, don't get
know
me
what they're
wrong.
doing.
No, get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think that I'm pretty sure that they know what they're doing.
I got the feeling that this is gonna be a reveal at E3, and it's
release in the
coming
fall.
sometime in fall. Yeah, exactly. And hey, if EA has any shot, I would say probably Respawn can pull this off.
So
Probably.
here's what's going to be the tell, and I'll end with this here on this story.
Hmm.
The tell is going to be, to me,
Tell the tale.
the tell
Oh,
will be this.
Okay.
Anthem.
Oh
When
yeah.
Anthem comes out, if it is anything short of the company saver, you know what I mean? Not that EA is going to show
No,
that.
not that EA will
But
recognize
I'm
it.
just- actually, I would say the BioWare saver. But
Yes.
if it's anything short of that, I really, like I said, I just don't know what they're going to do with it. I really have, again, vote of 0 confidence, and not on Respawn. It's just fucking EA.
Yeah,
Dude. It's
okay.
just freaking EA.
Yes.
I have 0 confidence in this that's going to come out.
I know. It is.
This is the 3rd. This is right, because it started with Visceral. It got canceled and moved on to Vancouver. Now it's going to be this open world Destiny / whatever. Then they said, no, we need to do something else. Years after that was 2017. We are now in 2019, and all this moving around, and they're saying it's coming out in 2020.
Not only fucking that, but think about this. Should have been a topic of the week at some point. Think of all. This is Star Wars.
Yes.
All right. Think of all the different type of Star Wars games different in sizes
Hell yeah.
and no, they came out. They came out before Disney signed the blood deal with EA. We had racers, we had our StarCraft type strategy games.
Yeah.
We had a shooter. We have flight simulators. We had we have among many excellent RPGs from BioWare actually. We have a plethora. We have an amazing amount of
Parabellum.
That's not the way.
That doesn't work there.
Of different types of games among the spectrum of gaming. Anything you can think of, it was there.
Yeah.
That was a fucking racer again. I have to remind you.
Several. Yeah.
Several, yes. Yeah. What have we had since EA took over? Well,
those two games.
We had a shooter, a multiplayer shooter, mind you. Another multiplayer shooter with an excuse for a single player campaign. And we are getting another shooter also.
Pretty much, because if it's Respawn, what else are they going to do?
What else is they going? Exactly. Yeah. That's my point. Because
this is a clear, like, bright light on what EA wants. This is the clearest sign as to what they want. They want something that they want the game, the type of game that everyone's playing, and they want to implement as much as possible in it that will get them the most return. And that's what we're seeing. It is as clear as day, and it's got to be clear as day to Disney too. Because let me tell you, if you really sit back and think about it for a second, when there was rumors, and I think there were rumors that Disney executives or someone stepped in to say after the Battlefront 2 kerfuffle, say, guys, fix this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's because you have loot boxes. Loot boxes are, for whatever reason,
Star Wars suddenly equals gambling.
Exactly. Kids may be gambling, and we're Disney. Fix this shit. You know what I mean? And that's really probably what ended up, obviously in the background somewhere, but that's probably what ended up happening. And still we have another shooter. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely what the Respawn's going to do. They have done nothing with this license. Nothing with this license.
Yeah, exactly. There's no original game
on this license.
No
original. This is what they have. Yeah. They've shit on this license.
Yeah. And I don't care. Like, dude, I don't care. I don't care how beautiful you think the Frostbite engine makes Star Wars look, and and whatever.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
But you have
freaking gorgeous.
No content.
But that gameplay is garbage. It's basically it's basic shooting. It's not even strategy. You can't even say like, what is it? I think it might have been Activision. I could be wrong, but. There was a game, Republic Commandos. Republic Commandos was a game where you played as the Republic Commandos of the
Empire.
Of the
no, you're talking about the Republic.
Yeah, about the Republic. Yeah, and they were the clones. They were clones.
The early ones. Yeah,
but they has an excellent tactical gameplay. You will say, okay, you do this, you bridge here, you do that, and it was like it was interesting. It had a strategic element, almost like the old Rainbow Six games, almost, but a lot more action packed, and it was beautiful. And it was a shooter, but it has something different. It was not some mindless third person shooter like Battlefront 2 was with a bait and switch story where, oh yes, this time you get to play as the Empire until we switch the thing out of you.
You're not actually
now you're
a bad
playing,
person. Yeah.
You're not a bad. You're the rebel. You were betrayed because fuck the Empire. I am done with this agreement. I really hope that they don't renew it. That Disney,
I would literally bet money that they do not. Matter of fact, I would bet money that they're looking to ways. How do we end this right now? There has to be a loophole. Find it.
And what the hell is happening with EA? Like what? Like this is something where, well, of course, because they're taking advantage of everybody with loopholes. When I say everybody, I mean that the people that are more susceptible to it. You and I. We don't fall into that, but there are people that they take advantage.
To be fair, there are people who, and this is, I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know anyone who does. So if anybody on the group does, let me know. I'm not trying to single anybody out or shout anybody, but there are people who like the game.
Oh, no,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They say, hey, this is they enjoyed it for whatever the hell it was.
I give him that, but you don't get to be competitive without spending money. I guess now you can because now everything is
since they pulled the system out,
it's supposedly
That's what I'm saying. It's just one of those things where it's like there's so many backtracking and then fixing, and it's just like, dude, just make a game.
Yeah,
just make the game.
This is why I am so skeptical of Anthem. That
Me
like
too.
everybody.
That's what I'm saying. When you look at this, I guess when I said that this shines a light on EA, this is the light I'm referring to when you think of Anthem. Yeah, sure, it's not going to have whatever, and you know what? Hey, to credit, Battlefield 5 has no all that stuff. But you know what? You're still left with a game that's half made.
Yeah, the game was incomplete when it came out, and it's still it doesn't have the things. I feel like Anthem is the last. Well, it should have been actually way back, but let's just say Anthem is the last mountain they can step, the last hill that they can make their stand. If Anthem comes up to be riddled with game tweaks that will try to get you to buy crap. They already say they didn't. Actually, you know what?
I'm pretty sure
let's take it back. They say that they didn't. So okay, so that puts me a little bit at ease. When they're saying, oh, we're not gonna do pay to win microtransactions, though they say no loot boxes. I think that was the term, right? So that puts me at ease. But this game has to be more than that now. This game has to be, and I don't mean it has to be like stellar, 10s or anything like that, although it should. What I'm saying is that it needs to sell well, and it needs to have some good faith. Like it needs to be a game that doesn't look like it has a predatory way of trying to take advantage of the gamers, because like this is this is it. If this game doesn't wow gamers, I feel like if EA stays EA with this game, then the fault now is not EA, is you, the gamer that bought it, that bought the bottom.
Oh, I think it's past that. But yes, I see what you're saying. I think we're already past that. I really think everybody should wait for reviews. You're right. Yeah, I'll finish on this last statement. Not only do I have a worry here, that game comes out next month, right?
Next month, February, I think.
Next month. So what's the other one that's coming from Ubisoft?
Oh, the Division,
right?
Yeah.
So the Division, people have already made they've already laid out DLC plans and all this stuff, a roadmap. The roadmap has been laid out for that. Do we have an Anthem roadmap?
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing that
I've seen, right?
Yeah.
So that's a concern as well, because all right, you may have a game that works with no microtransactions and all this. That's great. That should be almost immediate.
Yeah.
You still need to have a game that has content and is good. And if it's going to be one of those consistent online games, it needs to have content past the content that's in the game, because you got to have people coming back. You don't have a roadmap. Ubisoft is learning from the Division and from the other consistent games that they have going on. EA, you guys have to have a roadmap. You got people buying in. Don't literally do what Destiny 1 did, because Destiny 2, at least for the most part, has learned from that and has improved on that. But if you literally come out with a vanilla Destiny 1 on this thing, when you have not learned from the lessons of all the other people who literally like paved the way for you, you should already have this roadmap. Then fucking hell, dude. I mean, it's just
I feel like that's the problem. That's the wall that you hit when you want to make your game as service.
Oh no,
definitely. When you want to make your gas, that's the problem. It has to be a lingering gas.
It does.
It can be it can't just end.
I love it.
It has to be a gas that you smell is still.
Yes. It's constantly in the room.
It's constantly in the room. You can't get rid of it. Because the moment you get rid of it, people are gonna notice.
Yes.
All right. So.
Hey, it smells fresh in here.
Let's pass the gas.
Oh, nice.
And into some Fortnite. This should go into alleged news, but I wouldn't be surprised. Fortnite's V-Bucks being used for money laundering, claims a security firm.
Oh my god.
And then it says that the subtitle is coming from GameSpot. Subtitle is a different type of battle royale. It says some criminal enterprises might be using Fortnite's virtual currency to launder money. The Independent reports that security firms 6GIL, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but who cares? Found evidence of criminals purchasing V-Bucks in bulk and using stolen credit cards, then selling the V-Bucks to players at a discounted rate to turn into clean money. Most of these V-Bucks transactions reportedly occurred in the dark web, which is 6GIL specialization. How do you say that word?
Specialization.
Specialization. Thank you. That sounds better. Smaller quantities have been found being sold on the open web. The agency says that it has seen operations being run in English, Chinese, Russian, Spanish, Arabic. The launderers are said to use cryptocurrency to further obscure the sources of their money. The agency has not found exactly how much profit this has made for the criminals engaging in it. It notes that the pool of money flowing through and around Fortnite has increased within the game's popularity, of course, along mentions of the games on the dark web. The Fortnite items have grossed more than $250,000 on eBay over a 60-day period last year. And we're going to talk about some figures of Fortnite. But my next piece is about that. That will almost blow your mind. Surely blow your mind.
Okay.
Epic Games, there's a quote here that says, Epic Games does not seem to clamp down on any serious way on criminal activity surrounding Fortnite, money laundering, or otherwise. SigGIL senior Intel analyst Benjamin Pregminger. God, I'm terrible with, especially when
with
I'm
names.
half drunk. While completely stopping such criminal activity is extremely difficult, several steps could be taken to mitigate the phenomenon, including monitoring the transfer of high-value goods in the games, identifying players with large stockpiles of V-Bucks, and sharing data with relevant law enforcement agencies. GameStop contacted Epic Games for comment and received the following statement from a spokesperson. The quote is, Epic Games take these issues very seriously, as chargebacks and fraud put our players and our business at risk. As always, we encourage players to protect their accounts by turning on two-factor authentication, not reusing passwords, and using strong passwords, and not sharing account information with others. End quote. So,
that's serious business.
The yayo is there, man.
Huh?
The yayo is there, man. The yayo is there. The V-Bucks, man. You don't have to worry.
You got the yayo, I got the V-Bucks.
You got the yayo, I got the Fortnite.
Yeah, damn.
Let's talk. Let's exchange.
Let's go, Ming.
Let's go, man. Look at the little pelicans. I don't know why suddenly turned into.
But that's serious though. If that's if that's truly what's going on in the background,
I feel like this is something that we see with games that are obviously that reaches that magnitude. Or they don't even need to reach that magnitude of Fortnite, because I don't think anything has reached the magnitude of Fortnite. But not too long ago, World of Warcraft was a game where, yes, using the game economy as a means of laundering money was not unheard of. So it just goes to show that criminals are always going to be,
finding new ways.
Finding new ways.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So I got two last small pieces. I'm just going to lump them together here for you real quick. The first one is, speaking of, Tom Clancy's The Division 2 is getting a small-scale beta that will go live next month, weeks ahead of the game's launch. The beta will be playable from Thursday, February 7th to Sunday, February 10th, according to a trailer that Ubisoft released on Wednesday morning of this week. Players will be guaranteed access to the beta by pre-ordering The Division 2 from certain retailers. Those who haven't pre-ordered the game will or rather can apply for the beta by registering on the game's website. However, only a limited number of registered players will receive access. Ubisoft hasn't announced what exactly will be in the beta. However, based on the trailer, it's safe to assume that players will get the chance to explore Washington, D.C., where the game is set, as well as possibly play some of the game's earliest low-level story content. When the Division 2 launches on March 15th, it will be available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows PC. That does not mean Steam. And the weekend beta will also be live on all 3 platforms. So that's the first piece there.
What's your level of excitement for the Division 2, sir?
I am 100% indifferent about the entire thing. And not to say it's just I never played the first one. I knew of the first one.
Yeah.
It never interested me. Like I said, if it comes out, if between now and then Division 1 comes out as a PlayStation Plus, like February's PlayStation Plus game is Division 1.
It is?
No, I'm just
Oh.
I'm just saying if it is, then I'm like
you don't know here. Breaking the news.
Yes. You heard it here first. No. If it is that, then that would probably be the only way that I will play that, and I don't think that's gonna happen. So,
Yes.
Especially since the game is doing just fine anyway. And my last piece is a little bit an oddball one. The Power Rangers are getting their own fighting game.
Shoot.
Yes. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid will have cross-platform play on PC, Switch, and Xbox One.
Oh, you mean cross-platform, not cross-platform. Gotcha.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
The original Power Rangers TV show debuted back in 1993, and in the 25 years since, the series has never really gone away. Yeah, it was, putting out at least one new season every year. Now the developer Inway bringing that history into one fighting game called the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Battle for the Grid is a team-based fighting game that will feature both heroes and villains of the Power Rangers canon. While we don't know exactly which characters will appear in the final game yet, Inway has announced 4 characters so far. Jason the Red Ranger from the original Mighty Morphin, Tommy the original Green Ranger, Lord Draken, Tommy's evil alter ego, and Geo Moran, the Yellow Ranger from the Super Mega Force TV series. The game's website also seems to have spots for 11 other unannounced characters. A press release from Inway also mentioned Lord Draken Evil 2, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink Ranger character skin, which may either be skins for existing fighters or unique fighters themselves. So right now, they have Power Rangers is set to be released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch with a Windows PC release schedule for later the year. The game will release digitally for $19.99 and will again feature only cross-platform play, which with the usual trio. This PlayStation 4 said, "No, fuck that shit." on this one, they said, "No.
Do you
slow that shit down?"
Do you think they saw the way that the Dragon Ball game, the fighting game, was received, and they thought, well, hey, we have a property also that lends itself very well to fighting?
I saw some screenshots.
There are screenshots.
There are screenshots
already.
Yeah,
Oh,
there are
crap.
some screenshots, and frankly, it's possible. Hold on, I'm not gonna do this here because I don't want to get tagged by anything. But oh, hold on, that's actually has sound. But yeah, it looks to be pretty interesting. This is actual. I will post. This stupid thing. But that's you know what? I'll just post this. You guys can see it. I'm realizing you guys can't see it anyway. But it looks pretty. It looks like it's going to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
Doesn't look anime the way Dragon Ball Z does,
right?
Or Dragon Ball does. But on the other front, it does look pretty good. So
that's cool. That's cool. All right, my last piece of news. I'm going to throw it again to Epic Games and Fortnite. Because Fortnite made the most annual revenue of any game in history last year.
I believe it.
Fortnite made a whopping $2.4 billion in revenue last year, and now holds the record for the most annual revenue of any video game in history. according to SuperData's year in review. And that's not even counting the figures from Android or its PvE Save the World. So that's not even counting the sales of Android or the actual purchase of the game. That's just on pure.
Well, considering the game is free.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah,
It's like, well, gee, you make your game free and you offer you make it free to play with a sensible, because I would call it sensible. I realize there's some people, even in the group, there's some people that think that the way the Epic Games have made their season passes and stuff available is predatory.
Mm-hmm.
I have to disagree with that sentiment. I understand where they're coming from, but I have to disagree with that statement because I don't feel like they're really seeing the big picture of what it really means to be predatory. The game is famous among children. That's no doubt. That's no doubt. I don't particularly fault the game. I can't say, well, the game is too good that and too accessible. Kids like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the fucking reason why you're making a game. Obviously, you want to appeal to a particular demographic, and I mean, if you want to modify it and appeal to kids now, you do and whatever. But it doesn't feel like, or at least from what I've seen, for what I remember seeing. Of course, this could have changed, and I could be standing here, wrong, if this did. But I've seen the offers of, hey, new season pass, but guess what? You buy the season pass or you don't buy the season pass. It's not constantly putting it in your face that you have to. It's not pay to win.
You can't not play
just because
you don't do it.
Exactly. Just because your kid wants it doesn't mean that they're being predatory. Of course, your kids want to be. Your kids is gonna want
everything.
Whatever. Yeah. Exactly. Kids want everything. Their kid is gonna want whatever is the the things that is available. We were kids. We were the same.
Yeah.
So I can't, I can't say, I can't fault Epic for their for Fortnite success being almost unnatural, because it's just something. It's just something that's stuck.
I still say that it's one of those things where it's everywhere, dude.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. The game's free.
But
the game's
exactly.
Fun, that's easily accessible. I mean, it's Minecraft. It's just the next Minecraft.
That's how
what I mean.
That's how you do it. And if it was free, but it was offering some sort of like loot box or something like that, I wouldn't be here, defending it as much because I don't like loot boxes, and I do feel that loot boxes in itself, even if they're not like putting it on your face the whole time, like I don't feel Overwatch does, even though it kind of does a little bit, but like Overwatch does. But just the fact that there's that random level that I can I can buy into it and not know what to get. I feel like with Fortnite so far, and again, I could be wrong. I'm not a gamer of Fortnite. Feel free to correct me. I don't feel like they're putting it as a gambling thing. It's like what you buy. You're buying the next season. These are the items that you get, and
I agree.
But again, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I am definitely either not a Fortnite player nor am I a father.
I agree. I agree 100%. I don't think that it's predatory at all. I think the game is bigger than a lot of people want to give it credit for.
Yeah.
Because I think really, when you really look at it, it's one of those things that kind of define a certain time in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
It will definitely. And I think when we look back on it, when it finally, I don't know, fades away or becomes something else, I think we'll look back on it and say, man, you remember Fortnite was everywhere? You remember Fortnite was just a thing?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Minecraft. Minecraft, I never understood Minecraft. Not that I understand the concept, I do get that, but I never understood the appeal to it, to actually play the game. It's like, no, this is the most polygonal crap I've ever seen in my life. Why am I going to play this game? However,
I did.
I
did. I kind of like. I was never a Minecraft fan, but I bought into it and I understood. Yeah. But maybe I was never gonna be that creative.
Yeah. See, that's the whole deal. Here, there's no creation involved. You don't need to have it. It's all about, man, just get in there, team up with your people.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's what's funny about Fortnite. is it's the kids getting together. I almost
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm waiting to see if anybody releases, because I love watching like what do you call it, documentary pieces and stuff like that on
Yeah.
gaming or anything. I wonder if someone's going to put together the Fortnite phenomenon. You know,
Yeah.
the one thing, and it's just put it together. I can't wait. I'm sure someone it is.
Give it to these people.
Who, no clip?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he's trying.
If
I'm
anybody,
sure, I'm sure
if
they're
anybody
trying.
can do a good documentary on
they
it,
definitely could do it. Yeah.
it'll be there, and I'll be right there.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll
right
watch
there
that
to
one,
watch
yeah.
it. Yeah. This to say that. Oh, and another thing to mention is that usually free to play games, they get done. Developers usually hope that they get what, like 5% of the
Something, yeah.
population is spending money on it. The more, the better, obviously. Well, Superdata reports that 34% of all U.S. players regularly bought battle passes, contributing to last year's impressive figures. 34%. That's a third of your game of the huge population.
True, but I can also say this. Like we're not Fortnite players, obviously.
Right.
That said, if you're playing this game all the time because you enjoy it, and you are, maybe you're not a kid or something like that, but the fact is it was free.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you paid anything to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're like, hey, I'll pay $10 for season 1.
Yeah.
If you pay, for 4 seasons, that's $40. You're still less than a regular $60
Yeah.
game. So
Where you're getting most fun there.
Correct. I can see it being a very easy buy. And then as an adult gamer saying, I'll pay $10. I'll do the next season. If I'm playing it, I'll do the next season. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I didn't pay anything to begin with, and I'm enjoying this game. This is me supporting them. Now, again, I have zero personal care for Fortnite, but I definitely feel why you would want to support something that you enjoy doing, that you enjoy playing.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And
and this definitely is. I'm sorry. I just say this is everywhere again. So 34% is an impressive number. But when you look at the scale of it, go 30% over Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PC, mobile. I mean, the shit's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't really fault that because
No, not at all.
they're not asking you $60 and then on top of that microtransactions like every freaking EA game, not literally, but you know what I mean.
Not to
Or
beat on them again,
Activision or stuff like that. Exactly. Even Ubisoft, ruining perfectly playable and awesome games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I never thought I was gonna say that about an Assassin's Creed game, but I like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't love it because Ubisoft it with their trying to get money out of it. It's not like they made it free to play or anything like that, but it just goes to show you don't need to charge full price for a game to be recognizable as, oh, this game is worth something. A free to play game. Look at Warframe.
Oh yeah.
Look at Warframe is a perfect example.
Perfect example.
That game is a quad A game, not a triple A game, a quadruple A game. Okay,
absolutely.
in its craftsmanship and its design.
Beautiful, dude.
I'm not a fan of the insect design of the characters, but I think they look beautiful. I don't particularly enjoy the insect look of the characters, but I do appreciate that the game is gorgeous. That the game has no business being free to play. And yet it is.
Yeah.
And it makes money that way.
Absolutely. And the big difference there between the two, I mean, you really look at Warframe. That is an adult game. And I don't mean to say that it's adult in the sense that it's mature content.
It's not.
No, you have systems upon stuff that you need to learn. That's something that kids don't, kids are not going to, maybe eventually when they grow older, but
and there's some that
kids
do.
just want to
There's some that do.
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, for the most part,
right.
I can that's the reason why it hasn't took off. It was maybe a little bit easier to play. Who knows? Maybe it would have been the first Fortnite before Fortnite.
I tell you what, it didn't. I tell you what, because it didn't took off like obviously like Fortnite, because nothing has, but it did took off in the sense of they are more than very well. They're actually working on inspections and adding extra content and shit because the game is doing very well
Extremely,
for them,
yeah.
and it's just one game.
Yeah.
EA here is struggling with 3 or
get
4
something,
different titles from different studios, and
They're looking for that one game.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
looking for that
They're
one
making money.
existing game that consistently will
Could bring revenue. Yeah. And right now, up to recently, it was FIFA, but it was because they were taking advantage and diving into the well of taking advantage of the people that. Especially in this case, FIFA players, sport fans, fans of that series, on almost the only way to be competitive on that was actually needing to spend money. Almost.
And
Yeah,
that's gotten them diminishing returns.
they have been picking from the well way too much. At this point. So yeah, listen. I don't care. I don't hate Fortnite because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hating on Fortnite is it's a game that is bringing It's a game that is bringing gaming to a whole new generation of gamers that will spend, that is bringing people, not even non-gamers are being brought in into it. I don't care to play it. It's not my type of game, but I can appreciate what it's doing, and it's doing it well. Without being like awfully predatory, I don't give him the benefit. I don't give him like full slide of Epic can do no wrong, because of course they have actually.
Yeah.
But so far, not at the extent of an EA or an Activision or a Ubisoft of the world. So you gotta kind of have to give them credit for that.
Credit where credit is due.
A little bit, yes.
Absolutely. Yes. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our hot topic. All right, guys, we are back, and we are ready for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
This week's hot topic is Netflix. Too expensive now.
No, I think HBO Go is expensive. There you go. There you have it. Thank you for listening. This has been Jesus Malcolm Podcast. Out.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah. So I'm reading this off here of the Tampa Bay Times because that's just the article I have up. Netflix is raising its U.S. prices by 13 to 18%. Its biggest increase, since the company launched its video streaming service 12 years ago. Damn, it's been 12 fucking years. Okay.
Yeah.
Its most popular plan will see the largest hike to $13 per month from $11. That option offers high definition streaming up to 2 different internet connected devices simultaneously. Even at the higher price, this plan is still a few dollars cheaper than HBO, whose streaming service charges $15 per month. The extra cash will help to pay for Netflix's huge investment in original shows and films and finance the heavy debt it has assumed to ward off rivals such as Amazon, Disney, AT&T. While subscribers might bemoan a bigger monthly bill, Wall Street cheered, sending Netflix share up 6.5% on Tuesday. This marks the 4th time that Netflix has raised its U.S. prices. The last hike came back in 2017, but this is the first time that higher prices have hit the 58 million U.S. subscribers, the number Netflix reported at the end of September of 2018. So the question comes up, well, first off, how often do you, I mean, I know you do YouTube mostly.
Well,
but.
I need you to refresh my memory before going. I don't know the Netflix packages because I still Netflix. No, I'm kidding. Because I pay for Netflix like I pay for a utility. It's just, it is what it is. Yep. Set it and forget it.
Pretty much.
But there are different tiers.
There are different tiers, yes.
Okay.
I can, as you go over that, I can look up the tiers here. But
okay. So because it says the lower tier will go from $8 to $9.
To $9, which is the lowest tier. $8 a month has been the lowest tier since it began. I think it was back when it first began back in 2012.
Do you know what that offers?
Not in 2012 for the record. 12 years ago. The premium plan offering Ultra. Let me see. It doesn't actually say. I have to look it up because
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay.
It's
No,
one of the
I was
services.
just
Yeah.
I was just wondering because I'm surprised. Like that caught me off guard. The fact that wait a minute, there is a lower tier. I got to imagine that lower tiers are restricting you in the amount of devices maybe that could be watching Netflix at the same time. But does it limit programming usage? Those are the questions that I have.
So programming, no. What it what it limits is access.
Okay.
So here's currently the and this is I believe the upgraded numbers. Basic, which is $8.99, which is the $9.
Okay.
What that includes, you can watch how many screens you can watch at the same time. Meaning, if you're watching Netflix and somebody else is watching Netflix, that won't work.
It will
Yeah.
cut one of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
In this case, you can only watch one screen at a time with
Wow,
$8.99. Okay.
Gotcha.
You can watch on your laptop, TV, phone, or phone or tablet. Unlimited with TV shows. Cancel anytime. First month is free.
That
Okay?
makes sense if you are a couple, let's say, and you're not sharing with anybody.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That makes sense perfectly. Then you have the standard, which is the $12.99. Here, the only difference from what I mentioned before is now you can watch on two devices at once, and it includes HD.
Oh, okay. So see, okay, so there is a difference on even the quality of the resolution of the programming.
Correct. Yeah.
Because so HD is at 4K. I feel like
pretty
HD
sure
now is 4K because every program. I don't think that Netflix has programming in 720.
I would
or
say
maybe
that
it does.
HD is probably 1080.
1080
Because
okay.
they have plans that are higher that actually includes Ultra HD, which I believe will probably be closer to 4K. That
okay.
would be the premium package.
That would
Premium
be the
package
premium, yeah.
is $15.99. It includes HD, of course. Ultra HD, you can watch on 4 devices at a time, and then everything else is the same. So the
Okay.
content is not limited by the plan,
Right.
which is important.
That's really smart.
It's very smart, yeah.
Yeah, that's really smart.
These, yeah. So it's not limited by that. However, how many screens can be watched at once? It's not. It's not like you can play it from certain devices all at any point, but only one is going to be playing at a time. If you have the basic, only 2 up to 4 on the premium. We currently have, I believe, the 2. Yes,
2 screens at a time.
2 screens at a time, and the HD.
And okay,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was interesting because I was assuming that the programming that it was gonna be like that YouTube in the sense that if the program is 4K and you have a 4K TV equals you get access to 4K, but not necessarily. You have to actually pay for the service in order to
get it. Yeah.
to get that. Okay.
Correct.
So okay. So that makes sense from that sound. Now, you were gonna ask me.
I was going to
a
ask.
question.
Oh, first off, because I know you watch Netflix. I know you're more of a YouTube watcher, but
Right.
you watch Netflix. Are you watching Netflix generally? I mean,
With a frequency, I watch. My wife is the TV person. I am personally not a TV person. I used to be, but I used to be with specific programs that I knew I liked. Like I've never gone into exploring, new shows, discovering new shows that I would like.
You don't know what you're missing.
I know. Yeah,
I know.
It has always been okay. These are the shows that I like. I will watch them. I will rewatch them even. And I will record the rewatches for some reason. And that was back in the day. I'm talking about from the 90s all the way to the late 2010s. Let's say.
Mhm.
After that, after the resurgence of YouTube, or YouTube has been there for a while, but when I discovered that I can find the stuff that the particular niches that I was interested into in YouTube, I feel like that has been my main source of entertainment to the point where I pay for YouTube. And I pay for Netflix also, but if I had to pick, I probably would pay for YouTube. Now, okay, maybe that's not entirely true because I tell you the reason I pay for YouTube is not because of the original programming.
Yeah. It's because of the
It's
ads. Yeah.
because of the ads.
Yeah.
It's to do away with the ads. I want to be able to watch the video, right away, and that's just me, know. But I appreciate the fact that there's also programming like the karate, the new
Cobra Kai.
Karate Kid, Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And that's so we'll get into the
We're gonna talk about those.
the walled off stuff.
We're gonna talk about those.
Yeah.
But to answer your question about about Netflix, I have it because I feel like even if I was by myself, I feel like it has. I will take that 100% over cable because it's still me getting to watch what I want to watch, not what the networks force me to watch.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
yes, I will still,
And you can watch it at your leisure.
and I can watch it at my leisure.
Burn through it if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. I can. And that's another thing. If there's suddenly something that is really interesting, even though I'm not a huge a TV binge watcher, but if it's something that is really interesting, I will watch at least 2-3 episodes, in a row.
Yeah.
And be happy with it.
So other than YouTube and Netflix, what other services do you have as far as like
I
streaming
used to. Currently I only have those two.
Okay.
I tried Hulu for a little bit, but we found that the programming for us was not there. Plus, we have cable. We have regular cable. I would love to be. I would love to be a cable cutter. Like I don't need cable, but I do rent a portion of
the home.
my house, and I want to make sure that the tenants have obviously something too.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the only. Oh, and every now and then my mother-in-law, comes in and visits and stays, and that way she has her Spanish channels and all that. So I have the Spanish package for her.
So we cut the cable. We cut the cable pretty. I want to say it's been maybe a half a year, maybe just a little closer to a year that we've cut the cable. And
wait a minute, what do you do for football?
I was gonna get to that. Honestly, we needed to make sure that I can see football because if I couldn't see football, I thought we were gonna have cable.
That's the whole point of cable to you, yeah.
And realistically, there's what we use in the living room and in our bedroom is antennas, digital antennas.
Oh, okay.
And because I only need to get channel NBC, Fox, and ABC. Those are the three channels that play football.
Okay.
I just need to see them.
And you get them.
And not only do I get them, I get them in HD.
Oh, wow.
And I don't pay anything for them.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like...
So those antennas do work and work very well?
Oh, they do work, my friend.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So, honestly...
I would love to try that. I have a pole in my house that has nothing. That I'm dying to put something on that.
There you go. Throw an antenna up there. But yeah, seriously, so we cut that, but we tested it out. We said we need to test it out because I was like, not only do we watch not only watch football regularly, we watch the Super Bowl. We have a Super Bowl party every year.
Yeah.
I need to be able to watch the Super Bowl every year. I can't not watch the Super Bowl because I will fucking scream. It will just like be the most upset person. Anyway, my point is to say that we cut it, and because we cut it, not only it freed up so much money, dude. It freed up so much money. So the answer is Netflix becoming expensive? No, nowhere near as expensive as cable because, and I mean, not that I'm going to end it here, but I'm just saying nowhere near because we work just over $200 a month for cable,
for boxes,
for the internet, and we have a landline. We have a landline because we always have ever since 9/11 and ever since the blackout doing whatever in New York when we were living in New York, those were the only lines that worked when bad things happen. So we always have a landline, period, no matter what. So
and it's a real landline.
It's a real landline.
It's not an IP phone like the ones that will offer.
Correct.
Because those are the ones that typically the cable companies will offer you.
No, this is your standard just piece of shit. I mean, consider
POT piece of shit. Oh, no.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. So anyway, so we had that over to almost like $210. We cut it, dude. We're down to $80.
That's
from
nice. That's really nice.
So I'm like, okay, these services are great. So we have, we do use Netflix, and we use Netflix a lot. We have Hulu, and we're not letting it go to Hulu because my wife loves Hulu. She loves
Really?
burning through those old episodes of stuff.
Oh.
Like she's watched How I Met Your Mother from beginning to end. That's 9 seasons, probably like 10 times.
Wow.
Okay, so it's ridiculous.
That's more than you have watched Friends.
No, she's watched Friends way more than that, and she can watch Friends there too, by the way. So, we had that. Then we have HBO Go or HBO Now, whatever the
One
internet
of the
one.
two.
Yeah.
HBO has always made it so confusing with those two.
Well, the Go is the one that if you have HBO through your cable,
then
you use
you
that.
get-
The
yeah.
Now, or maybe it's vice versa, but
See,
the
that's
Now,
what I mean.
Now is more the Netflix version of it.
now I'm confused.
The only reason I have that is because of like certain
Game of Thrones.
movies. Like
Game
if
of
there's a movie,
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely. Yeah, Game of Thrones and Westworld for a little bit, but Westworld ended up disappointing me. But movies also, because we had turned it on, or we went back to get it again because I wanted to rewatch something, and fucking Amazon. Oh, you have Amazon Prime too, don't you?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I do
have
have
Prime,
Amazon
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
you have
Power of
Prime, yeah.
Prime.
Yeah, so
Yes,
Prime
yes, I
has
do have
also
that
its
too.
movies and stuff
Yeah.
like that too. So, and that one, if you look at the price, it comes about $10 a month, right? Because it's $120 for the year.
Of what we're talking about? Prime?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But
That-
you're paying all up front, basically, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, Prime Video is a bonus of the real reason why I use Prime, which is for all the shipping, all the crap.
Ditto.
But you're you're absolutely right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's and it has paid in dividends because
Oh, absolutely.
the original programming from Amazon is amazing.
Oh yeah, hello, marvelous, Ms. Maisel, yeah,
Yes,
And there's
absolutely.
a bunch of other stuff too, but yeah, absolutely, and they have the original films as well.
Yes.
So, I guess the question comes to: Is there going to be a point? So right now, I guess we can both agree that right now it's not to that point. This,
No, right
this
now-
increase,
Yeah.
to me, is nowhere in the vicinity of being too much for me. Especially how much money I'm literally still in the black when you consider how much I was paying for cable.
Well, I'm
anyway.
surprised that you've mentioned you have all those services, and I'm thinking, well, you got HBO's with only $15.
Which we don't have anymore, for the record. We only had it. We had it for a little while. We have it when we want it for something.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Which we
gotcha.
will get again in April, for the record.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
No, because I was wondering because that's the inherent problem, right? You cut cable, but then if you want to see the shows that you have been watching, you have to subscribe to all this little, a la carte services.
Services, yeah.
And that becomes a problem because each of them thinks that that their value is $15, at least $10. Right now, it's a little upsetting to see the fragmentation, because say for example Disney wants to do its own streaming service, which is going to be separated from everything. It's going to take the programming out of Netflix, devaluing Netflix by a bit, I would say, because Disney has some good programming that Netflix will probably no longer have unless they negotiate something
and
amazing.
it's not just it's not really, if you really think about it, it is not. I mean, yes, the immediate thing that comes to mind is MCU. Because all MCU stuff,
but ABC
a
programming
lot of-
also.
yeah, ABC programming.
Yeah.
You have Disney movies,
Disney movie, yeah.
which is like Disney,
Disney Family,
Pixar, and all that good stuff. All the Star Wars movies, which are for the most part there. You have Force Awakens. You have The Last Jedi. You have
the shows
Rogue One.
that the new shows that are
you have-
running, the animation
the
shows
animation.
that
So
Star Wars-
all that stuff is going to get pulled and move away. Which, to be fair, I mean, because it's being pulled off of that, and I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but because it's being pulled off of that, for me personally, I'm like, you know what? Fuck Disney. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get, hey, you want to do your own thing. And to be fair, if there's anyone who has a library going back into the back of the, to the freaking 50s, it's Disney. They can have their own library.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
they're not Netflix though. They're not offering you everything. They're just offering you their stuff. Like I appreciate.
I'm sure
services
they'll
like,
get other stuff too, though. That's how you supplement
That's the crux.
it. Yeah.
That's how you have to supplement it. Yes. With content like that, to where to say, well, you could actually say, well, I don't need Netflix anymore because I got everything from like whatever Disney Go or whatever the hell they decided to call it. I think it's
I think it's Disney
It
Go.
might be something like that.
Yeah, but see the Disney thing, I can never see Disney doing stuff like Netflix does.
Oh, they could. They have the resources.
No, what I mean to say is you're not going to have a Disney after dark.
Oh yeah, right. No,
you're never
going
to have that stuff.
That is absolutely true.
So the content you get from Hulu, because Hulu has original content.
ABC has edgy content, and it's owned by Disney.
Do they though?
They can well. It's not Cinemark like After Dark,
yeah,
but
it's definitely not. It's definitely not cable.
No.
They do have a lot of exciting content, which a lot of people watch. I guarantee ABC is a big channel, but realistically, dude, they have just comparing it to cable networks. Stuff that you see like on FX or AMC, you will never see on ABC. You would never see on NBC. You don't see on any of those things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When it gets to that point, there is a possibility that they might not have it to that level, but it's not. It's like a stone throw away of becoming that. Like I don't see it. I don't see that as a big stretch. For them, especially if it's gonna rack the amount of money that they could get if they could become a Netflix, which.
I don't know. I still think. I mean, they could become Netflix. Right. They can literally. I honestly would guess that they're going to leapfrog HBO Go and freaking Hulu. Immediately, almost out the gate, because they're going to the content they're going to have. Already available to them. But that said, you're still not going to have the content that Hulu has. Hulu has original content. The other ones that even HBO has is you're not gonna have a Game of Thrones show version on Disney. That's not gonna happen. No. You know what I mean? So that's why I say fuck Disney for doing this shit. You know what I mean? Because it's like, look, I get it. You want to have your whatever corner of the market and all this stuff, but
that's what it's sad. It's that the fragmentation of all this
content.
Because you got the content exactly like Disney, which somebody say, well, this is valuable. I could see myself spending money on it if I'm a fan of, the content. But then you have like, freaking who the fuck is it? Is it TBS, CBS?
Oh, CBS, yeah.
Holding Star Trek, the new Star Trek, the Star Trek Discovery, hostage on their crappy ass service that I can't imagine anybody paying for, for the programming. You happen to be the only way that I can get Star Trek, or I can pirate it. So well, I guess I don't watch Star Trek, and I have yet. They're going on their second or third season. I have yet seen a single.
There's actually a big to do. I think either this week or this past week, or maybe upcoming next week about the next season. It's like a big red carpet party or some shit like that for the new Star Trek, and it's like I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm not paying CBS.
I'm not gonna pay CBS. Like,
CBS does not have that much content.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? And yes, here's the other thing. While a lot of content for CBS is walled off from Netflix, Netflix still has some things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just a weird thing where I'm like, it's not enough to make me let go of this network. But the price hike, going back to Netflix, the price hike, I can definitely see me giving money. Like if they were to go another, not that they need to, because we're okay with not doing it, but if they were to go another $2, sure. Because I would say they have done as much as possible, and this is not because I'm working for Bill. They have done as much as possible to
the guy that pays us for every time we mention the name Netflix. We get a royalty check.
So they have done everything they can to load that content, original content.
No, without a doubt, Netflix is no longer about let me watch the this reruns of this show or that. No, right now you can have that if you want, but it's so much more because I feel like they are really giving you original programming. Say what you will about the quality. I think for the most part, if you're expecting movie theater, quality on everything they release, you're gonna be disappointed. That's not really what it's about.
But you can definitely get indie quality. You can get indie quality.
Absolutely. And the content is. I think it's perfect for TV. And even their worst the worst received programming what was it? Bright.
That was their worst.
Well, it was not. Well, critically,
Critically, it was around a 7, is what it was averaging.
actually, there's a lot of critic.
Really?
Yeah, they panned it out. It was, and honestly, it was not great. To be
No,
honest with you.
I'm not saying it was
not
great.
really
I thought it
good.
was okay. I thought I enjoyed it.
I
honestly
enjoyed it.
did
Yeah,
enjoy
it was. Well, that's my point. It was still enjoyable,
It was very original.
and it's still a lot of people watched it.
yeah, and it was
And-
very original.
Yeah, it was original. Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. So
Bird Box, as much as I think it was not as good as everybody think it was, I only think it was just fine. It was just,
hey, it was
but
a
it was
sensation.
correct. And frankly, I enjoy. Like it was a lot to enjoy from the
Right.
film. It wasn't like it was just shit.
Right.
And then on top of that, they have really good stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they have a lot of good content. So yeah, you have. I don't think I've seen anything from Netflix, although your wife just mentioned she didn't say what her opinion was of IO, which
Oh,
was
the movie that
yeah,
we saw
well,
the trailer last
for.
week.
However, it left me to be maybe it's not as good as that. However, she started watching Close, which was our
Another
trailer of the
Netflix.
week.
Yeah.
And it sounds like she's so interested in it, she wants you to watch
Yeah,
it with her.
she
So
stopped it
yeah.
after 37 minutes. She stopped it. It's like, oh
Like,
no, baby, you gotta watch.
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I'm like, there is content. So I'm looking at this. I've always said, hey, we've always said this, right? You vote with your wallet.
Yeah.
I'm voting with my wallet. You need another $2? Here you go. We're still way under what anyone ever paid. You can, right now, PlayStation View, you can do the bunch of networks and all this stuff. That's in the $30 and $40 range. We're
true.
so far under that.
And the cheapest cable package will cost you at least $50.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
We're so far under that. So I don't think that Netflix have gotten too expensive. And I don't think for now that a lot of these services have gotten too expensive. However, I did want to ask you, what do you think is that, what's that line? What's that line where you suddenly go, I don't know if I can continue the Netflix train here.
I feel, well, it's hard to put a monetary value because I feel like as long as they're offering valuable content, I will still pay, whatever they ask. To be honest with you, and that sounds like ridiculous. That sounds like super fanboyish, but it's true. They have liberated, at least in my case, well, not fully because I'm still paying for it, but I told you the reasons. But for example, I see a case like you. You no longer have to pay for cable. You are saving yourself so much money. At some point, I won't have to, anymore. Whether it's because I have, my house is not shared with tenants or anything like that. I can definitely cut, $50 or $60 of my bill. That's awesome. My problem comes from where, say, Netflix is asking for, $18. Let's just say, for example, for the package that I want. Maybe I want 4K, maybe I want all that, but then I can't really watch everything, right? Because they don't have Star Wars content. I have to pay $16 to Disney for that. Oh, but wait a minute. But I want to watch. I'm tired of Star Wars. I want to watch Star Trek. Oh, wait a minute. CBS wants $6 for whatever Castello.
Is it $6?
No, it's more than that. But my point is, when it becomes that when it becomes that level of they're nickel and diming me here and there and everywhere, that now you completely dissolve any benefit of cutting the cable, with the exception of what I get to pick what I want to watch.
Yes.
So even if you end up paying the same amount of money that you were paying for cable, but you still get to pick a la carte what you want to watch, there's some people that will see value on that. In my case, I think
that's what I do with Amazon. Like, right, Amazon has their stuff on Prime,
right,
and they have good stuff that comes to Prime, every so often.
Yeah.
However, I don't mind paying for the content when it's something new.
Yeah.
It just comes out. It's like, yeah, I'll pay for it here. If I have like for instance, Sweet Country was a Prime movie, and it came out. I was like, that's fine. The last movie we watched, Hereditary. Oh no, Hereditary was also Prime. Some of the other ones like Searching.
I think that came out in the movie theaters.
It came out in the movie theater, but when we watched it on Prime. It was on Prime, yeah. Searching, which I had mentioned before, I paid $6 for that. And got, I'm like, it's okay. Yeah, I get the service, I get the Prime, I get the free stuff. Yeah. I don't mind paying for something that I know I want to watch.
Right.
So if they do something like that, Yeah, I can definitely get on board with that as well.
Yeah. I don't think I can place a money. I mean,
value?
because I will have to feel it. It will have to be something that now it feels overbearing. Now it feels like, well, I'm not really getting the value here. To Netflix, it still feels like I'm getting a great value. And if they're actually doing what they say they're doing, and is using that money towards creating, more content, and
Which we all know they
content,
fucking greenlight everything. So
well, that could be a problem in itself. But that could be its own topic. If they're actually using money to put into these projects and maybe improve the quality and all that, I'm totally down with that. I'll be completely fine.
yeah, I agree. Me too.
Yeah,
I think we're fine.
I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna survive.
I think we can survive $2.
You can't. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I think it's possible.
If you have, because a lot, of course, when this got announced,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people were into social media. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I am going to cancel Netflix. Well, I got news for you. I'm going to give you news from the future. Next year, there's going to be another price hike.
Yeah,
and it's going to also be another $1 or $2, just like this one. And it's also going to be for the same sided reasons as they mentioned this, because it's not going to stop. That's
it costs money to get that
exactly.
content. Yeah.
You get out at the moment that you feel like it's overbearing, that the value is no longer there. But you better have a good alternative.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're gonna be with your tail behind your
Correct.
behind your legs.
You're gonna be
between your
watching
legs.
the digital antenna that I mentioned and watching reruns of shit from 3 years ago.
Yeah, when they decide to show it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which they don't have to now.
You're no longer in control.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an awesome, real episode 143. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please go again to goodgame.tech, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. I do want to mention that this podcast will probably come out a little late, as I normally do this on Saturdays as far as the editing, and then usually release on Saturdays. Chances are I'm going to be predisposed tomorrow.
Oh.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're going out with a bunch of people.
I can take care of that. I can take care of this one then.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Nothing stops the signal.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing stops the signal.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So fair enough.
I'll make sure that it's there. You guys, don't worry. It'll still probably be late just because it's still me, but it's still be on Saturday. So don't you worry.
So you heard
And
it here.
besides, you guys don't matter. You guys don't care if it's late, because by the time you hear us giving you the excuse, you already heard
Yeah,
it
you're
on
really
the goddamn thing.
That's
so.
true. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, again, this is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mrs. Santos, take us home.
Well, you guys might not know this, but every game that you're playing right now is live as service. It's game as service. Every game that you have been playing. That's how I closed last week's show. And that's how I'm going to close this week's show.
We're doing this week's too. Okay.
Yes.
Guys, even the game of life is a game of service.
Yes. We're servicing you right now as we speak.
That sounds horrible.
That sounds
not good at all.
like you need to bend over. Or
Oh
something.
my God. Moving on. We will see you guys next week.
GG!
GG's The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.tech, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Join the conversation at www.goodgame.tech.
You'll be sucked.